Let's get nasty on a Monday. It's the Fast Line on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. 201. Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Tell you what, boys, these Cardinals, red hot. I feel your energy. All right, so the Cardinals have won eight in a row. I thought I was going to get a
going.
Yeah.
Say something else.
Yeah, I thought he was going to dive into the we usually start Mondays.
I mean, come on, these Cardinals are red hot. And you're like, nothing.
I thought you were going to talk about Mother's Day, something like I don't know.
You ran a 5K.
You ran a 5K. Yeah. There's a lot of things to unpack here.
True.
You got 4 hours to talk about the Cardinals.
By the way, on that, you guys said, you'll probably be sore Sunday
I did see
night.
you stretching in the meeting.
I'm sore. I'm sore.
You were rubbing the hamstrings, the hammies, the calves.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I saw you. It just not dawned on me why.
Yep.
I saw you kid like stretching.
Yeah. What is he doing? Yep. A little tight. Yep. Madeline she's on Girls on the Run, and we did the 5K this weekend. Awesome events.
How'd she do?
She did great. She did awesome. So at first, because there's a lot of people there. There's like 7,000.
That's a lot.
At one point, I heard 8,000 people down there.
That's a lot of folks.
There's downtown ballpark. We started Ballpark Village, and at the start, you're kind of jammed up a little bit. So we'll walk this thing. My daughter starts jogging, and I'm like, I'm just gonna follow her pace. And we jogged to the Dome, and let me tell you, my left shin. That was it.
Started feeling it?
It was rough.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if she wants to jog this entire 3+ miles, I'm gonna be in trouble. Fortunately, she goes, do you want to walk? She's like, do you want to walk for a little bit? I'm like, I'm good. Whatever you want, honey.
But Daddy, you're crying.
But Daddy, you're walking the wrong way. No, it's good. I hope everybody had a great Mother's Day. Hope everybody had a great weekend. I know the Cardinals did, boys. I know they did. They have now won 8 in a row. They're only 1 game back of the Chicago Cubs in the National League Central. Plus 24 run differential. Got the Phillies on deck tonight.
All right.
So the competition gets a little harder moving forward here. But again, 8 in a row, 8 of their last 10, and they have now won series against the Mets. They've won series against the Pirates, and they've won series against the Washington Nationals. So let's do our exit survey. We typically do this after the previous game, but Marsh had an idea. Marshy had a vision. We're going to do an 8-game win streak exit survey.
Okay.
So during the 8-game winning streak, your biggest or best storyline from the streak?
The pitching staff. You got Eric Fetty getting a complete game. Who'd have thunk it? He was taken out of the game.
Us.
No, none of us. Palante went 8 innings. Like you're getting. We complained and talked about the bullpen. Well, you don't have to worry about the bullpen if you go 9, Anthony.
Very true.
You don't got to worry about it if you go 8. If you go 7 1/3. Hey, you give me 2 guys to pitch, maybe 1. I don't know. So the starting rotation has been outstanding. We can talk about the hitting and the time hitting with runners in scoring position. You can talk about Victor Scott and his speed on the base paths. You can talk about all of that, but it starts with the pitching. And Anthony, you are one that constantly says pitching is the most important thing in baseball. If you can never have enough of it. The starting rotation is doing a fantastic job, and I think Eric Fetty, that first game in Washington. Afterwards, he mentioned when you're starting a series off and you're the first pitcher, you want to set the standard, and everybody else kind of wants to follow that. They want to up you. They want to be better. Mm-hmm. He was outstanding, and so you got to take your hat off to the pitching right now.
Yeah, not just the starter rotation. The bullpen's been very good since the Cardinals have unveiled their new strategy, or whatever you want to call it, with the bullpen, which probably includes starters going deeper and being more successul.
Right.
At the same time. Yes, it's crazy, right? Yeah.
Bullpen is great. Starter, we gave you 8.
It's much appreciated.
There is a saying in football: you want to play better defense, play less defense.
Yeah.
If you want a better bullpen, you use your relievers less.
Yeah.
And that's the case here.
You know what, guys? I won't stand here today and let you trash talk my Cardinals. I just won't. I won't. Doesn't matter how deep the starters are going. The bullpen's successful right now.
It has been.
Let's just recognize good play when we have it. We don't know how long it'll be around, of course. So let's enjoy it while it lasts. Okay, guys?
Boy, that was a slight open-faced crab sandwich.
What?
If not a full crab sandwich. Because I'm pretty sure you had both pieces of bread there.
I'm just trying to be positive.
No, I saw what you did there. I did.
Like that?
I saw it. I think the best storyline as well, like with CD, has been the starting rotation. The starters ranked third in innings pitched in Major League Baseball. They focus more on this is a starting rotation that's going to focus on weak contact and ground balls, and that's what they've done. Third fewest home runs allowed at 20, most ground ball outs in Major League Baseball at 240. Opponents are only hitting 237 against this group. Fetty and Palante delivered standout performances over the weekend, and the last turn through the rotation, 40 2/3 innings of work and only 7 earned runs allowed. Some of that is due to the competition being the Pirates and the Nationals, but you play who's on your schedule, and we can't have it both ways where we're going to say they lost the series to the Pirates, they stink, and then say it doesn't count, it's the Pirates. No, they play who they play. And they've won 8 straight. So I think the best storyline has been this starting rotation. What about you, Marsh?
For me, I think it is, the pitching is probably the number one thing. But for me, I have to say Wilson Contreras coming back into form for me is one of the more important things based on how he started the season. And another thing we can't overlook is John Gruden and his his role in all of this when he went to meet up with the Cardinal players in the clubhouse on that Saturday. That game got rained out, by the way. He went in there and unboxed all this swag, all this Cardinal swag, talked with Lars Nootbaar and Nolan Arenado, and ever since he showed up, Anthony, they've won 8 games in a row.
Yes,
I don't think it's I'm trying to piece the puzzle together, and that's the common denominator for me.
Well, after he failed the Blues, it was nice to see that he held the Cardinals.
Hey.
What?
We know that Gruden didn't fail the Blues. Who was it?
Joe Boo.
Thank you.
I don't think it was
I
him
feel like
either.
they're in on it together, quite honestly. We gave Gruden all this clothing and all these things. Signed Bennington jersey, and what happens?
Well, do you think John Gruden, when he went to the Cardinals clubhouse, he took all that winning with him?
He did.
And basically extracted it from the Blues because they ended up losing that Sunday, whereas the Cardinals haven't lost since.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. See? We don't really know what John Gruden is right now.
I don't think we can blame Joe Boo or John Gruden. I mean, they weren't on the ice.
Carey, you know what? You're entitled to your opinion.
Seconds left.
Okay.
I mean,
I don't like it.
The only good thing about that was the Vegas Golden Knights scoring with 0.4 seconds left. That made me feel better.
Yes.
Me too.
I was like, oh my God. I felt better. It wasn't 1.6 seconds. 0.4? Oh, go fast lane yourself. And everybody.
And their own guy put it in.
Oh, my God. He tipped it in. Draisaitl.
Leon Draisaitl. Somebody tweeted after Leon Draisaitl now scored on all 32 teams in the NHL.
Oh, that had to be heartbreaking.
That's terrible.
That's a rough one. I too was happy about that. I
felt
Vegas
better.
for my bet the board.
Marshy, you talk about Contreras.
Yeah.
And in his last 22 games, he's got 16 RBIs. His OPS is 1071, 473 OBP. Like he's raking right now. So you're right. Wilson Contreras is a big part of this.
All right, biggest kudos. Who are you giving your biggest kudos to?
Can I get mine to Ali Marmol?
I was going to do the same thing.
My gosh.
I think it's
Carey,
Ali Marmol.
You can't do that.
No, you can. I mean, you give him bleep when they're performing poorly. You blame him. You say, this team stinks. This guy doesn't know what he's doing. He can't figure it the fast lane out. I don't want him here. And now you win 8 in a row, and you got to give him credit. You take all the blame as head coach. You get all the credit as head coach. That's how it goes. Same thing for quarterbacks,
Yeah.
generally speaking. That's how it goes. Yeah. Players did nothing. It's all Ali.
Oh.
That's, Anthony, them's the rules.
I like your I like your sarcastic tone on this. I really
Them's the
do.
rules.
I appreciate it. I don't know if I'd go that far with what you said, but I get it. I get what you're saying.
He gets all the blame.
Yeah, true.
You get all the praise.
I do think, though, like yesterday with Miles Michaelis, he got into the 6th. He only had, 60-some-odd pitches. He was very efficient yesterday. And Ollie, knowing that Washington's...
You get choked up talking
I
about
do
it.
get choked up talking about it. When Washington had who they had coming up, Ollie went to the pen. That was the spot where he could have stayed with Miles Michaelis in a one-run game, and he didn't. He went to his pen. He thought Steven Matz was a better matchup, and it worked out because Matz retired, I think, the next five batters that he faced. So my kudos also goes to Ollie. Jamie? Marshy?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess, yes, ultimately, Ollie gets credit for some of this, but some of the stuff he has absolutely no control over. Like the offensive numbers, I think you got to go with the hitting coach and the players on that one. The rotation, Ollie doesn't throw pitches. Like just the same reasoning we have when they're losing sometimes, we have to have the same reasoning when we're winning. And we say Ollie doesn't, Ollie didn't throw a curveball over the middle of the plate. Well, Ollie's not throwing a curveball that's painting the corner now either.
True.
The players are. So I'm going to give kudos to the starting rotation. I really am, because that rotation, I don't think much, if anything, was expected from it by anyone in the league, and maybe not even some of the Cardinals front office, to be honest.
Very true.
I'll go even further. I'll say the front office for not doing anything this past offseason and believing in this group.
Marshy, you are going to get it. Marshy, my goodness.
I know it's a combination of everybody, though. Like, I think it says a lot where you can have the start that you had and all of a sudden start fixing things on the fly. Mm-hmm. You look out west and you look at the Colorado Rockies, and they are terrible. And they actually might be worse than terrible, which I don't know if there's a word for that.
They lost by 3 touchdowns over the weekend.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Fired the manager.
This is a point in the year where you can't win the division, but you can most certainly lose it, right? Early in the year. April, not a great month for the team, but they've figured out their recipe to what success looks like.
Very true.
And they're doing it right now. Yes, they've played some teams that are under 500, but we've talked about it before. You have to beat the teams that you play. You also you won 2 games against the Mets. That's a good ball club. And now you have a chance tonight in this series against the Phillies, a team that you had some success early on in the season at home. You have a chance to continue that win streak and prove to the St. Louis Cardinal fans that you are more than just who you've played as of recent.
Biggest criticism, I don't know if there is a criticism. I don't know if you can have a big criticism when the team has won 8 straight. I'll throw it out to the floor if you guys do.
I think we're still waiting on Jordan Walker.
Yeah, it's about the only one, right?
And I don't know. I don't know what it's going to take. I think he just needs to find joy in playing the game. Like sometimes you get so much in your head and you get so concerned about success versus failure. And it's kind of like you only have fun when you're having success, but you only have success when you're having fun. So it's the chicken and the egg. Which one comes first? You got to find some joy in what you're doing. And when you're not hitting the ball, you're not having fun. You're not having success, you're not having fun, but you got to find joy some kind of way. Mm-hmm. If there's one criticism, it will be him right now, because that's really the only thing you can take away from this team. Him not getting hits and him being moved further down in the lineup is probably the only thing you can say right now.
Yeah, I'm on board with that too. And that's the one thing that the Cardinals are going to have to figure out here is, although they're winning games, and that's obviously the focus is on staying competitive while developing players, you have what you've deemed to be maybe one of your biggest prospects since Albert Pujols, is what you told everybody anyways, and he can't hit a ball.
Yeah.
He can't hit. The team is raking. Jordan Walker can't hit a ball.
Literally everybody got a hit on Friday night except for Jordan Walker.
Well, and I'm looking even at, what was it, last night's game?
Yeah, he went over.
He went 0 for go for again, 0 for 4.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they got to fix that. Somehow, the criticism for me is on Jordan Walker, but also coaching staff, front office, whoever's right now is involved in this whole development thing with him. Like, everybody deserves a little bit of blame here.
This is what I talk about when I talk about, like, it's when a good player, like, I don't want to say they've ruined him, because you drafted him in the first round. He had success in his first year, but something is not connecting anymore.
Right.
So as a coach, your job is to figure out what that thing is and connect it again so that he can have success. Even if he's not hitting balls in the gaps, if he's not hitting over the fence, making contact feels much better than striking out or hitting the ball softly to second base or short.
Right.
So finding out how to get him back connected with that part of his game is going to help this team in the long run.
Well, we didn't answer what's the biggest question you have left heading into the next series, but I think the biggest question might as well be, now that the competition's going to get a lot more challenging, can the Cardinals keep this rolling? That includes tonight against the Phillies, who, as we know, is a World Series contender. We'll play the lineup game next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
Anthony, I got former teammates and guys I played against that we get together every now and then. They ask me, hey, man, you look great. It sounds like you're doing awesome. Like, what's the deal? I tell them all the time, I'm like, guys, we're older. Things happen. I get my blood work done every 4 to 6 weeks at Mentality. And from there, they guide me down the right path. And my brother's coming in from Canada. He's going to stop by Mentality on Friday and get blood work done because he's not feeling the way he used to. So guess what? People are listening finally, and they're heading out to Mentality.
Yeah, Mentality is fantastic. They're a local-owned healthcare facility. They specialize in helping men like me, Jamie, and hopefully Sean, Jamie's brother, feel and perform at their very best. True story. So over the weekend, regular listeners know that Madeline and I, my daughter, ran a 5K. Never ran a 5K before. I jogged it, but you know what? I made it through, and I felt good. And all weekend, the kids wanted to play soccer or baseball or football in the yard. In fact, we went out for dinner last night. My son Killian goes, "Hey, Dad, can we still play outside?" I go, "Absolutely." Had the energy to do it all, and I love the way I feel. So if you feel like you're low on energy or motivation, or maybe you've got that weight gain, you're losing muscle, you're feeling anxious, moody, you're hating it, and you want to be the better dad, the better husband, the better you that you can be, head down to Mentality, 2 different locations. Jamie frequents the one in Chesterfield. I usually go to South County. But if you want to check them out online, mentalityhealth.com/radio is where you can find them. But when you do head to one of the locations, tell them Jamie and Anthony sent you in there and rediscover the you again. Mentality. game here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. If you're driving around right now like, wait, I thought these guys got rid of the lineup game.
You thought wrong.
You thought wrong.
You guys had a voice in this.
Yep. And you chose lineup game.
It is here to stay.
That's right. So let's play it, shall we? Cardinals, Phillies, tonight, Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia. It'll be Christopher Sanchez versus Matthew Liberatore, left-hander. Sanchez is a lefty.
Okay.
An LHP. Is that what you're waiting for me to say?
Oh.
Yeah.
I
Needed an answer.
You kept looking at me, though.
I'm
He
listening.
looks.
to you.
He just.
You're
He just
supposed to
looks.
look at somebody when they're talking.
Not him.
Not
though.
me.
Why not?
That's the rule.
That's rule 3.
I got these glasses on.
4.
I can't see him anyways when I have these on. They're blurry.
Okay.
That is
Well, you're not
true.
supposed to look into his eyes. Like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can get
Look in
away
his
with it
direction.
by looking at his forehead.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's big enough, so.
Or the bridge of his nose.
I can't get past that.
Right
Yeah.
here. Then they think you're looking at him, but you're not looking at him.
Big area.
If you like the size of this, you'll love the lineup game. Let's do it. Here we go.
Never mind.
Lars,
Yeah.
all right.
Copy and paste.
Show us Lars' new bar.
International superstar.
Watch out, don't run into any walls or anything.
Mason
Okay.
win.
Mason
right?
win?
Sir.
Yeah. Show us. Mason win?
Second. Bring me that arm.
Go ahead, Carey.
Brendan Donovan? Show us Brendan Donovan.
Look at that guy. Vibrant, handsome, hair.
If I may,
Oh, please do.
show us Nolan Arenado.
A lot of people think you get in your mid-30s and your career's over, but like I always say, until they stop scouting, I ain't going to stop playing.
By the way, I think it was Ryan last week in a snake pit that was asking how that all started, the Nolan Arenado. And somebody was saying that I wasn't paying attention to BT one time. Close. I actually was paying attention to BT, but he was setting up this whole bit,
And you weren't paying attention.
and I
to
just
BT.
forgot the part that,
Carey, you know us better than that. Like,
I mean,
I heard the whole thing, too, and I didn't even know what the hell was going on.
like, it was in the office, remember? It was,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
set up in the office, and BT was like, all right, then I'm going to read all this, and then
you
you're
say
going to
that.
say a name, and it's actually going to be Nolan Arenado. And so he did his whole bit. Like, it was like 2 hours later, and he did his whole bit. And he's going through the stats. Who do you guys think it is? And I go, Nolan Arenado. And he was pissed. He was furious at me. He's like, are you serious?
He stopped the show.
He's like, are you serious right now?
really?
Are you serious? And I'm like, yes. Are you serious? You can't be serious. And then he's like, yes, it's Nolan Arenado.
He's like,
forgot.
Never mind. Never mind the bit now.
Right.
We're like, okay.
Sorry. So that's why we do the Nolan Arenado. All right, number 5. Jamie, go ahead.
This is Willie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Wilson Contreras. Show us Wilson Contreras, please.
You don't know how to play first base. It's not that hard. Tell him, Wash.
It's incredibly hard.
Hey, anything worth doing is.
That's right. All right, so I'm assuming Ivan Herrera.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Show me that DH, baby.
Thank you. Show us Ivan Herrera.
Oh, Yvonne? That's a French-ass name, Yvonne. Yeah, my little croissant. Little cheese on my croissant.
That's one of my favorites.
It's pretty
That
good.
is a good one,
Especially when you haven't heard in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you need? You need a. You need all. You need.
We need a catcher.
Yeah, typically this
So
has
this
been
is
typically a
Pius?
catcher. Yes, I think.
I think it's Pius because what Pozo played last night.
Correct. Yesterday.
Show us Pedro Paez.
Smithers, throw this at him.
You're out.
Maybe.
So it's an LHP on the bump?
Yeah.
Jordan Walker.
It's going to be Jordan Walker. I mean, you keep rolling him out there.
He's gonna get a hit at some point. You can't go over for the rest of his life.
I don't know. He could try. I don't mean he'll try that.
He's capable.
I worded that poorly.
Would you like to
Thank
try again or
No.
stay? Yeah, I figured just stay with it. Show
Figure a
us
swing and a miss is appropriate for that one.
Wow.
Jordan Walker.
Marshy.
Doesn't deserve
He
it.
doesn't. You're right.
And
Marshy,
we
I
need to
couldn't
save
support
time.
you more.
I wasn't even thinking about that.
Wow.
No, he doesn't. He needs to get,
He
he needs to
doesn't
get a
deserve
hit.
it. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't blame him. I don't blame Marshy one bit on
No,
that.
not at all. In fact, I didn't even think about it till you did it, but now that you did it, I'm really happy about it.
Yeah.
I felt it. Like, it needed to be done. He'll go 3 for 4 tonight.
Probably.
Two singles and a double.
Maybe we have to change his sounder, too.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the problem.
It's too long.
It's too,
People have been telling us that for a while.
high. It's too far.
Really? Where are you going? It's too high. All right, go ahead. Jamie.
Show us Victor Scott.
What a shame.
Okay. So, who the hell?
Siani ain't here.
Alec Burleson, and you'll put Newt in center field?
Or
Burley and right?
Donnie. I mean,
left.
is Gorman playing?
Or
maybe it's...
No, lefty pitcher? Gorman's not playing. Come on.
Well, Burleson. It's not Burleson. Obviously, Burleson,
Do they have a righty?
Gorman.
Do they have any righties?
Barrero.
What's his name?
Barrero. But what is he going to play?
Shortstop?
No.
Or second base?
Maybe he's playing second base.
Yeah, there you go.
That is.
Jose Barrero. Show us Jose Barrero.
No, we shall see.
Yes way, Jose.
There we go. We got there.
That's not too bad. Missed one. It was Victor Scott. Are we not going to go with Victor Scott?
That's my fault, guys. I did it.
Nah, it's
my
not
bad.
your fault at all. Go ahead, Marsh, run that thing.
All right, leading off in left field, it is Lars Nootbaar batting second. The shortstop, Mason Wynn. Batting third, second baseman, Brendan Donovan. Your cleanup hitter, third baseman, Nolan Arenado. Batting fifth, first baseman, Wilson Contreras. Batting sixth, the DH, Ivan Herrera. Batting seventh and catching, Pedro Pajes. Batting eighth in right field is Jordan Walker. And batting ninth in center field, Jose Barrero.
What? Does he play center field? Just today.
Yeah.
He's a utility infielder.
You thought wrong.
I don't believe what I just saw.
Home run. All right, gentlemen. The Cardinals won 10-0 on Friday night, and no one hit a home run.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Shameful.
So that means Carey is still in the lead with 4 points. I'm behind him with 3. Jamie, you're at 2, and Anthony, you're at 1.
Yeah, give me Mason Wynn.
Mason Wynn. I'm going to go with Carey's guy, Jose Barrero.
We got to play center field.
All right. I'm going to go with Wilson Contreras. What?
I was going to say,
You got the other guy there, too.
no, I don't.
Your DH.
Nolan Arenado.
Yeah, let's go with that. Him. It's not a thing. It's a person. Ivan Herrera, please. Ivan Herrera.
You're welcome.
Thank you. All right, that is the lineup game and home run derby. We'll have beat the streak and bet the board a little bit later on. We're also going to talk to Jeremy Rutherford, and we're off a little early tonight. Got Hurricanes Capitals Game 4 pregame starting at 5:30 right here on 101 ESPN. What's trending is next.
Hey, it's Carey Davis, and if you're a contractor or own a business that needs recycling, my friends over at Scrap Mart Metals can help you out. They are tailor-made for your business to meet your schedule and your budget. At Scrap Mart, they understand that job site cleanup for contractors is often a mess, but if you set up a business account with Scrap Mart to recycle that metal, it'll be one less thing you'd have to do during cleanup. You'd be amazed at how the scrap metals add up and how it can help your business's cash flow. If you own heavy equipment, you know it breaks down over and over again. It's frustrating. You have to repair it over and over. The time will come eventually where you have to get rid of it, and Scrap Mart will come and get it out of your way. They'll haul your equipment to one of their locations and get you a check the same day. Or if you want to haul it yourself, they have 3 convenient locations: Valley Park, Peevely, Jonesburg. If it's metal, they will buy it. It is recycling made easy. They offer convenient drive-on scale, and they have the highest payout. You will always get top dollar for your scrap metals. So visit them today at scrapmartmetals.com. My guy Lucas can talk to you about setting up a business account to get you rolling. Again, that's scrapmartmetals.com.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals have an 8-game win streak right now. They are 1 game behind the Cubs for first place in the NL Central. And the Cardinals will take on the Philadelphia Phillies tonight. Matthew Liberatore on the mound going up against Christopher Sanchez. First pitch is at 5:45. We are off early today. We'll have Game 4 between the Hurricanes and the Capitals, with the pregame starting at 5:30. Puck drop will be at 6. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
What are the hot topics in the sports world?
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
It's time to find out with
What's Trending, brought to you by Elite Comfort Experts. Heating and cooling with no gimmicks, just guarantees. EliteComfortExperts.com.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers, and Carey Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Anthony, in the break, you were telling all of us how much you hate the NHL and NBA playoffs.
Yeah, it was really
stop
weird.
it. Did actually
Carey,
say that.
you heard it.
I was praising how awesome it's been.
It has been awesome.
Did you see the college football game? No, you didn't, so it doesn't matter. I'm like, okay.
That was a little bit.
Okay.
I'm like, whoa.
You're a little bit of a jerk.
Yeah, okay, go ahead. Come on. Yeah.
Carey Carey took the time to share with us how he feels about playoff basketball and playoff hockey. We didn't ask him anything. Carey took the time to share with us something that gives him joy.
Yeah.
And I have
you put
Shut
on
it down.
steel toe boots and absolutely booted it.
Told me to
right
stand
in the balls.
Yeah, spread them.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Stand there for a second while I get my steel toe boot on here, Carey. Because I'm going to tell you how much I hate how you feel, which we know, Carey, he can't tell you how you feel.
That is actually, that you learn that in therapy.
Yeah, lots of it, too.
Yo, it helps.
You should try it, Anthony.
Yeah, no, I have.
Trust me, you're a dead ringer.
Yeah, I hate to have the truth get in the way of a good narrative, but good story. But what Carey actually did was he said, I got to push back on your favorite weekend of the year, which my favorite weekend of the year, of course, is Thanksgiving weekend.
We all like it. There's a lot of people that like Thanksgiving.
Absolute best it's Thanksgiving weekend when it comes to sports. It's incredible.
Wow.
So what Carey said was, I actually have to push back on your greatest sports weekend, because what I'm seeing is, the NBA playoffs have been great, the NHL playoffs have been great, and then yes, I said, oh yeah, how was the college football and NFL games this weekend? And I just looked at Carey, who I know very well because he's my brother from another mother, and I looked at him dead in his face and I said, hey, I know you better than this. You're being a prisoner of the moment.
Again, you were telling him how he felt. It's completely not appreciated.
I know him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, that's lots of people say that too. I know you better than you know yourself.
Yeah.
So I tell you how you feel. Can't do that.
Okay.
Well, Anthony, you'll
I pay
love
a lot
this.
of money to learn that.
You'll love this piece of information, Anthony, because it involves football.
Yes.
The NFL. And it was announced today that the Eagles, who just won the Super Bowl, will be hosting the Dallas Cowboys Thursday night, September 4th, to open up the 2025 regular season.
I think we get a good game this year.
Yeah. What?
Remember last year? It wasn't. It was just awful. The first game of the season.
What? Was it in Brazil? Was that the first game?
Maybe.
That was the second game. That was a Friday
That was a
night.
good game.
Listen, it was a Thursday night game, and I was like,
Who was the first game?
Oh, okay.
maybe it wasn't
2
last
years
year.
ago, it was Chiefs and Lions, which
No,
is really
last
good.
year was the Chiefs and the Ravens. And you had the toe out of bounds.
Yeah.
What am I thinking
It was
of?
the Chiefs and the Ravens.
I don't know.
That was a good game.
It was one
very
game
good.
at the start of the season. One of the first games. I was like, really?
Yeah, it was the Eagles and Packers in Brazil. That
Maybe
game
that
was
was
wet.
I like
It
that
was
game.
The grass was weird.
2 people
I did.
saw it because it was on. It was on
I
one of the
watched it.
channels. I didn't even see it live.
It was on Prime.
I don't have Prime.
No free
It was
ads,
on
Gary.
Prime. All right,
Might have been
Prime,
on
you can pay
Peacock.
me. Prime,
Yeah.
Peacock. I will talk about your show and shows and
Carey's,
your network all day.
listening.
Nah, I'm just saying, if we got...
He's trying to help bring in revenue.
Are you trying to be an ambassador for those networks?
You gotta do.
He's trying to claim it. So now, if Amazon ever comes on to the show, I was
You
talking
heard it here
about
first.
Yeah.
Amazon, Peacock, Prime, Netflix. I'm your guy.
But the Eagles-Packers game at least was, it was competitive. It was just...
Yeah,
kind
what
of a-
game
kind
are
of
you
rough.
thinking of, Jamie?
I don't know, guys.
You hate
Who knows?
for
It may not have even
the
been
truth
football.
to get in the way of a good narrative.
Listen, let Anthony be alone on his island with that one, okay? Marshy, if you're going to learn things from us, Marshy, don't learn those things. We got way better to offer.
And
I
other
just
things.
listen, you know.
Yeah, you listen.
I just soak it in.
You make sure that you don't do a lot of the things that we do. Yeah.
There's a lot of things that you guys do great that I also take in, I soak in.
Yeah. It's the other ones you have to probably steer clear of, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is interesting. NBC announced today that Hall of Famer Michael Jordan will be a special contributor to its NBA coverage beginning this fall. Does that shock you at all?
Yeah, that's basketball, baby.
Do you think he's... So here's the question. Do you think he's going to open up, share insights, be critical?
I don't know what he's going to do, but you got the greatest player of all time on your airwaves. There will be eyeballs paying attention.
Yeah.
What network is it again?
NBC.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just wondering because, like, Wayne Gretzky is on TNT, and obviously he's the greatest player of all time. And he does a good job of being very critical, or his analysis of the game is good. So
That's the key. Yeah.
Tom Brady, I thought he did a pretty unbelievable job considering he'd never done it before, and he got put into one of the highest rated slots available.
What'd you call him?
Yeah, and he learned on the fly, but by the end of the season, I liked what he was doing. And, who else could break down certain offensive schemes or even defensive reads better than the greatest quarterback of all time?
Yeah.
So hopefully now Michael Jordan can bring some interest to the NBA, because the casual fan just isn't there, man. I make fun of it all the time because I'm not a big fan of the NBA, and that's fine. That's just me. But you walk around, casual fans aren't really watching basketball. They've lost touch with the casual fan.
Oh, Anthony's clearly not. They're not playing the playoffs
Carey, would you agree with that?
in November.
Yeah, but I think that those people, I love basketball.
I know you do, but the casual fan.
Yeah, I think
Like,
they
who's
have.
flipping
but
through the channel, stopping because it's
It depends
NBA?
it depends on who's playing, right? I think
Who are your
NBA
big names?
Steph Curry is still a big name. LeBron and Luka, those are huge names.
Casual fan, though?
Yeah.
LeBron, yes.
Steph.
But think about it,
Yes.
go back, though. That's the problem, is, you had Jordan, you had Magic Johnson, Larry Bird. At the height of the NBA, you had names, man.
I think you still have some of those names. I think that they're in a new era now where LeBron is towards the end of it, KD is towards the end of it,
Then what?
Steph is towards the end of it. Then you got Anthony Edwards. You still got.
I don't think Anthony Edwards is
Giannis
all that big of a
Antetokounmpo.
name.
Yeah, he will be.
He's a hell of a player.
If you love basketball, he is. But I'm telling you, if you drop somebody in the middle of Pakistan tomorrow and say, "Who's Anthony Edwards?" It's the guy from that TV show.
That comes with, I don't know.
That was the guy's name, the actor.
Anthony Edwards?
Yes.
That comes with winning the championship, though. You have to win. You got to win a championship in order to be that household name. So this younger generation, Nikola Jokic, maybe not to the casual fan, but he is a hooper. But guys that are extremely athletic, guys that dunk on people, like Anthony Edwards, if he wins a championship and has an opportunity to win multiple, he will be a name that people will be paying attention to, because he is a superior
See how those
athlete.
ratings go.
Yeah.
Jamie just hates it.
He does not like basketball.
Doesn't want to give.
It's actually pretty entertaining.
Yeah, it is.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, not the game of basketball. You hating on the NBA.
Okay.
It's entertaining.
I'll watch the final, because usually you're supposed to have the two best teams, which should be entertaining. It wasn't very much last year, but I'll watch it again. I give it a try every year. Carey, move things, please. Thank you. I start criticizing basketball. Carey starts throwing his things in my spot. He's trying to pick a fight over here.
That's a shame.
That Carey puts his things there?
It's a shame that you have to deal with that, Jamie. Yeah. All right. It's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Are we seeing the Cardinals, the 8-game winning streak? Is it legit? Are they legit now, or are they just a product of the schedule? We'll get into that next on 101 ESPN.
Hey, it's Carey Davis, and if you are in the market for a new vehicle, you want to look and feel of a vehicle that is amazing, the ride is going to be awesome. That is Genesis of St. Charles. They are Missouri's first and only standalone Genesis dealership. The model you want, the color you want, whatever you need, and the ride is perfect. The seats in some of the models actually massage you while you're riding, so you need to visit them today. They have a large selection of new Genesis models in stock and ready for you to take home today. Experience the luxury service at their brand new facility located at 5601 Veterans Memorial Parkway in St. Peters, right off of Mid Rivers Mall and Highway 70. If you don't see the model or the color you want, they can find it and help you build it and help you build your dream Genesis. Genesis of St. Charles will introduce you to the sweet life of benefits. Genesis owners get a complimentary scheduled maintenance for 3 years or 36,000 miles, whichever comes first. You get 24/7 luxury roadside assistance for 5 years, whether you need a tire change, transportation to the new Genesis retailer, gas, or more. And if you have a busy schedule, you can visit them online. You don't even have to step foot into the facility. Visit them at genesisofstcharles.com to get your vehicle needs taken care of. Again, that is genesisofstcharles.com.
seeing right now from the Cardinals legit. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, and Jamie Rivers. You know, I don't know how you guys look at this, but for me, I said this in the opening segment. We can't look at the series earlier in the season against the Pirates and say, the Cardinals can't even beat bad teams, and then say when they sweep Pittsburgh, it's only Pittsburgh. Like we can't play both sides here. So I don't really care that the 8-game winning streak has come against the Pirates and Nationals, but I do think you have to at least acknowledge that part of this is opponent-driven. The biggest thing for me, though, is in discussing whether or not it's legit, is the starting rotation. It's the run prevention. If that starts to go away, if the starting pitchers are no longer what we're seeing now, 40 in their last 40 and 2/3 innings the last time through the rotation, 7 to earn runs total. They're starting to give up home runs like they're not doing now. If the ball's starting to be hit in the air like it isn't right now, the winning will go away. I guarantee you that. So now that they're going to face a better lineup in Philadelphia, it's just a big we'll see. But are we seeing it, is it legit right now? Yeah, because the starting rotation has stepped up in a big way. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And the rotation is going to get tested. The next 9 games are against legit opponents. Like, you got the Phillies. Whatever you think of the Royals are a much better team.
They're very good, yeah.
Than they have been. And we got the Tigers.
And the Tigers are.
So that's 9 games against 3 really good teams. Now, 6 of those 9 are on the road. So that's going to be another test. Mm-hmm. If the Cardinals out of these last 6 go, even if they go 500, 3-3, I will be impressed. And then it's what they do after that with their homestand of Detroit and Arizona coming in after.
Wait, did you say next 6?
The next 6 games on the road.
Said
I said 9, but the next 6 are on the road.
Got it.
If you need me to slow it down, Anthony,
no,
I can.
I was
Carey,
actually...
get the dry erase board, please.
Yeah, believe it or not.
Anthony's crayons.
Believe it or not, I was looking out for you because you said 9. Then you said if they go 3-3.
Was it because I had both numbers, the number 6 and 9?
I get confused and excited.
Got you a little motored up, did it?
Bingo.
Yeah. 6 on the road. If they go 500 even or 4-2, which I think would be outstanding. I think that sets them up pretty good for a 6-game homestand after that.
Fair.
I think so. I'm looking at some numbers for the last 5 games. Liberatore gave you 7. Sonny Gray gave you 7. Ifedi gave you a complete game, 9. Palante went 7 1/3. Mm-hmm. And then you had Miles Michaelis yesterday.
Who could have given you 7, but I
don't know that he could.
From a pitch count standpoint, he could have, but I like...
From knowing track record and facing the lineup the 3rd time, you probably it's probably time.
Yeah.
But if you can get, and I don't know that you'll get to the 8th inning every single game, 4 of your 5 starters. I doubt that that's going to continue. Throughout the rest of the year because their arms are probably, they used to do it in the 70s and the 60s. I guess those men were just built different. But
they're built on booze and cigarettes.
Yeah, it was a little different. Mm-hmm. All this training.
Maybe we go back to
shame.
That.
Yeah.
Less shame.
Yeah. Go back to that.
Yeah.
But that is outstanding. You can get to the 8th inning with your starters. They can get you to the 8th inning or into the 8th inning, and in Fetty's case, get you a complete game. You're probably going to win the majority of those games. Is it feasible for it to continue? I doubt it, but that should be your goal. Now that you've done it, well, you should be trying to get to at least to the 7th and finish the 7th every single game if you're the starting pitcher, because the bullpen, you trust it, but not as much as you trust your starting pitcher. So is it sustainable? I don't know. I don't want to be the negative Nancy every time we talk about the Cardinals. I am a realist. I do understand that they played some teams that aren't very good right now, and they beat the hell out of them, which they should have. I think this will be a true test. They have the Phillies this series, then they got the Royals, and then they play the Tigers. The Tigers are leading the division, and the other 2 are second in their division. So let's see how good this team really is versus better competition. And if they continue to win, then, all right, we might have something brewing here.
What we do know is everything's clicking right now. You guys brought up the bullpen. April bullpen struggles. They were all pronounced, highlighted. We knew about them. Helsley in the 9th, Leahy, Maton, 7th, 8th. That has worked out very well. since they have added Matz and Graceffo in that flexibility / matchup-based roles, that has worked out well. Jojo Romero is slowly starting to turn his game around. Steven Matz, I think, has been one of the keys to the pen. He's got a 1.35 ERA in that hybrid relief role. He's been aggressive. He's been effective. He's been really good. And over the last 8 games, the bullpen has a 0.90 ERA. It's been outstanding. The offense has been very balanced, too. They scored 10 runs on Friday night. As Marsh said when we played the home run derby game earlier following the lineup game, they didn't have any home runs. Yesterday, they used the long ball to win. They're winning in different ways offensively. 4th highest batting average in Major League Baseball. Tied for 3rd on base. Most doubles in Major League Baseball. They're tied with Arizona with 82. 6th best OPS with runners in scoring position at 787, which is something that we, rightfully so, have complained about Jamie and Carey for a long time.
Rightfully so.
Yes. Brendan Donovan continues to rake. Victor Scott, I mean, how about him, dropping the head of the barrel out and crushing that baseball yesterday. Wilson Contreras, I don't know how he got that backspin on the ball to get the ball out. Lars Nootbaar, opens up the hips, takes that inside pitch and drives it an absolute missile out to right field. I think these guys are hitting very well. I don't think Ivan Herrera has captured, and it's been, 3 games or whatever. It's 2 games. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right, because he wasn't in the lineup the one time. Ivan Herrera is back. Wait till he starts to swing it again. They've got a balanced offense. The starting rotation's been really good, and the bullpen has fixed its issues for now in May that were there in April.
So let me ask you this, guys. Where do you think so the long ball still really isn't a huge part of the Cardinals' arsenal. Mm-hmm. Where do you think they rank in all of Major League Baseball for home runs?
I would say I think they're above average. I think they're probably 11th or 12th.
Carey?
11 or 12?
Mm-hmm. In Major League Baseball, yeah.
In home runs, 17, 18.
Marshy?
I'm going to go with 22nd.
Wow.
All right. Carey, you would be winning on this one. They're 19th with 38 home runs.
Carey Davis.
Who do you think is first?
The Yankees.
Okay, so Cardinals have 38 home runs.
Aaron Judge probably got that by himself almost.
How many home runs do you think the Yankees and the Dodgers have each, not combined?
So the Cardinals have 38?
Yeah.
The Yankees have 53.
I was going to say 54.
I was going to say 56.
How about 70?
Oh, good my.
The Dodgers.
We got to get them torpedo bats.
Whoa.
The Dodgers have 64. Now, the next highest is the Chicago Cubs, who are first in the NL Central.
58.
59.
Oh, wow.
So 59 home runs to 38 right now. And the Cubs are one game ahead of the Cardinals, which tells me the Cardinals are manufacturing runs.
Yeah.
So if they do get some guys to start to run into the ball, the Jordan Walkers, the Gormans, the Burlesons, like if you got some guys that finally start to run into the ball, this team could get even better. Mm-hmm. Which is a positive thing.
Yeah. I think the key, to your point, is they're not relying on the home run. They are finding other ways to win. It does, to me, go back to what they're doing from a run prevention standpoint. But if they do add the home run, or at least more of it.
Well, and they're also doing pretty well in some of the offensive categories.
Absolutely, yeah. Batting averages.
Which,
high.
Again, if they start to have some slug to it.
Yes, sir. Should we all wear red glasses today? I feel like we should all wear the red glasses.
Well, I feel like we should at least be honest, and we're being honest.
Yeah.
Don't do that yet.
Don't be honest?
No, don't wear the red glasses.
Carey.
Anybody get the text?
Marsha did.
Marsh, you got the text?
No.
Yeah.
Not this weekend. There's no need. I'm texting them, Anthony.
Oh, my goodness.
Did you already reach out?
Did you write you up? They're on the road, Marshy. They're not answering.
Wow. You're waiting. You're waiting until they get back home.
Hey, Marshy, you can't be too hungry, as the kids say.
Yeah.
Okay? Don't be too hungry.
Don't be too hungry, Marsh.
Is it hungry or is it thirsty?
Don't be.
No, I
think it's thirsty.
Don't be either. Don't be either.
It used to be thirsty. It's hungry now.
Yeah.
When did that change?
Today. This morning.
I have to check my middle school vocabulary.
Yeah. Okay.
Like spicy's the thing. Cardinals are playing spicy ball right now.
Yeah, they are.
Is that a thing?
It means they're hot, Anthony.
Oh.
No, I get it.
Really?
I get it.
Do you?
Yeah. No. Will the Cardinals win streak bring back the fans when it comes to bringing them to the ballpark? That's next on 101 ESPN. Underdog is one of the best places to make your entries during the basketball playoffs. They got their extender promo going on right now, and you can play your way to increasingly bigger boost each round of the playoffs. Just use your game one boost and then keep boosting each game, and then the longer the series goes, the bigger the boost, bigger the payouts. But you all have that friend that is constantly saying, I knew that this player was going to go off in this game. I knew this game, this player was going to stink in this one, right? And if you don't have that friend, it's because you are that friend. So go to Underdog Fantasy, where you might as well get paid on all of your, hunches during the NBA playoffs or during the NHL playoffs or during the regular season of Major League Baseball. They've got it all at Underdog Fantasy to play. Download the app, choose whether a player will go higher or lower on one of their stats, and then you can choose things like points, rebounds, assists in basketball, points, goals, assists in hockey. You get the idea. And they even got UFL action at Underdog, so you can play your Battlehawks too. Once your entry feels good, you can play for as little as $1, and if you get everything right, you could win up to 1,000 times your money. So again, get paid on all of your basketball, hockey, baseball, and football knowledge by downloading the Underdog app, signing up with my promo code Anthony to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Again, that promo code is Anthony. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama, Nebraska, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assist.underdogfantasy.com/web/extend.html for details. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncbgambling.org. So now the Cardinals have won 8 straight games. Will it mean...
Order of the rings. I'm being positive.
It sounded like it. Will it mean fans back in the ballpark? What do you guys think?
Like, I love the Cardinals, and for you to insinuate that I don't, I'm not happy with their success, it really,
I didn't insinuate that.
It does. It
You
hurts.
did.
No, I didn't. I said they're playing great.
If you're upset right now, it's a you thing.
No, sometimes things you say can upset me. And I have no control over what you say. I'm not allowed to tell you how to think or what to say.
But
I can react and be angry.
That's well said.
I love this toxicity from you two today.
Toxicity.
Yeah.
That's a good word.
They call that gaslighting right there.
No, what you're doing is gaslighting.
What you did was gaslighting because we're talking about therapy and things and how we should feel and not feel, and then you're like, nah, you're toxicity. No, it's not.
It's toxic behavior.
Yours is, absolutely.
It's manipulation at its finest.
Coming from you.
And hey, we've seen it.
We've seen a lot of it.
All right?
A lot of it.
Yeah, we've all seen it.
All right. So, anyways.
So what was your question?
Will this win streak bring people back to the stands?
And Marshy said it in the office earlier. Carey's going to stay even keel, not get on the roller coaster. Let's see what this road trip.
I believe he said sit on the fence.
I don't think he said sit on the fence.
That's what I heard. You told me, Anthony.
I don't think he said sit on the fence. I think he just said Carey's going to stay even keel. Right? He's gonna figure out how to play.
Not gonna ride the roller coaster.
They got.
But you have to get on though.
They got 3. Yeah, I don't like roller coasters. Okay. I told you.
You already paid. You're in the park. You might as well ride.
I put the kids on it.
So what's your ride?
I told you.
What's your ride of choice?
I got stuck in a virtual ride at Disney World with my daughter. Like the seatbelt wouldn't let us out, and the damn thing stopped working. I don't like rides.
That's not a roller coaster.
Yeah, that was I got on that because I don't like roller coasters, and I got stuck on that.
Well, what was it? Was it like the Frozen one or something?
No, it was Jimmy Kimmel through the streets of New York. And we were. Was it? Yeah, Universal Studios. It wasn't
Did you
Disney
have
World.
to go on
It was
that
my
ride?
daughter. She wanted to go.
She wanted to do the Jimmy Kimmel
The
one?
other
There's
two
no way.
were on the big roller coaster, so I left. I'm telling you the truth. I let them two go on the big roller coaster. The line was long, so me and my youngest daughter went on the virtual.
Your youngest daughter wanted to go on the Jimmy Kimmel thing?
Yeah, she didn't want to get on the roller coaster. She wanted
and
to.
Jimmy Kimmel was the only option?
We were walking, and
What
we
happened to
said,
the
let's go
teacups?
into the. Let's go. The teacups
Oh,
are
I hate
even
those
worse.
teacups.
The teacups. You ever seen people projectile vomit on
man.
them?
Those are rough.
Why do you go to these places if you have no fun?
I have children. It ain't about me. You're a dad. They don't give a damn about your fun, Jamie.
You hire a babysitter.
They don't care about your fun. Dad, I want to do this. All right, okay, cool.
The last babysitter that had to look over kids at an amusement park got 8.
That's true.
see?
Yeah,
in Jurassic World.
Yeah, that was a rough thing there.
I was like, man, I missed that.
That was one of the worst ways.
She was a terrible babysitter though. She lost the kids.
She lost the kids. Yeah, she was on the phone with somebody.
Anyways,
So yeah, so for me,
so the
roller coasters, no, I'm not a fan. So the Cardinals have 3 series versus the Phillies, the Kansas City Royals, and the Detroit Tigers.
Yes.
And let's see how these 3 series. Let's start with this one, right? We just played 2 teams that were mid, below.
There you go.
Mid. And so let's see what these 2 series look like. I keep getting a text from Pete in, I don't know where's Pete from, 314. Pete in the 314 saying, you got to give credit when they beat good teams, too, because they beat the Mets twice.
They did.
They also got swept by the Mets 4 games. So
it's called baseball.
It is. So I don't know who they are, man. Can I be, I don't know.
All right.
I want to wait.
Look, if the Cardinals continue to win, yeah, people are going to go back to the ballpark.
If they continue to win, yes.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. Like
Carey,
people are not.
You're removed from the marketing campaign for the Cardinals.
All right. I think they took me off last year.
People are not going to sit there and say, "Oh, well, I'm going to boycott." All we want as fans, all we want is to see our teams win. That's it. We are very simple when it comes to rooting for our teams. We get off the soapbox as soon as the team starts to win. Media, fans, all we care about is winning. So if the question is, will the Cardinals win streak bring fans to the ballpark? The win streak alone, no. I think you'll start to see a trickle of fans if they get in first place and the winning continues. Yes, more people will show up to the ballpark.
Let me ask you this.
100%.
Do you feel like the Cardinals are playing an exciting brand of baseball right now?
I think they're playing more exciting than they have over the last couple of years.
Yes.
Because I think it's more exciting than the last time it was exciting to go to the Busch Stadium was when Albert Pujols was on his tear following the All-Star break.
And that, right. And that was more the story than the style of play.
Well, it was Albert Pujols.
Either way,
like
it was
every
a draw.
time people were flooding to the ballpark because they wanted to watch his next home run and his next home run. They wanted to watch his journey to 700, all that stuff. After that season, it wasn't great. I'm watching the last handful of games here, and I find it to be exciting. I actually, believe it or not, felt that 2 games ago, or 3 games ago, maybe, my math might be off, they scored all those runs, not one home run. Not one home run. And they were manufacturing runs, doubles, singles, doubles, stealing bases, like sending runners, hit and run. I would think that to the Cardinal fan, the passionate Cardinal fan who loved Whitey baseball, all that stuff, this is a great brand of baseball that you're watching right now. I would think people, specifically next weekend, I think people will get to the ballpark. I think people are like, okay, I'm willing to give this a shot. I'm willing to watch this.
If they go 3-6, if they go, well, because they got two road series. So let's say they go 1-5, 2-4. People are showing up against the Tigers.
I think they will.
I don't.
I don't think they'll go 1-5.
I think if they go 4-2, if they go 6-0, correct. If they go 4-2, 5-1, 6-0, yes. But if you lose those 2 series and you maybe scratch out 1 game out of those 6, I don't think people, because they're playing better teams, and so the mindset will be, well, okay, I can go watch them when they play teams.
But has it been that way for Cardinals fans?
They ain't been there this year.
No, I'm talking overall in the last decade. Has it been that way for Cardinals fans?
No, but this is a different version of Cardinal fans. I think if you talked about the version 10 years ago, they're showing up come hell or high water. It can be 150 degrees outside. They're going to go watch the damn Redbirds because they're going to cheer for the opposing player that played 35 games here, and they're going to be excited to see him.
But don't you think right now?
But they're not going to do that now.
You don't think people want to be at the ballpark? You don't think people want to cheer for the Cardinals?
I feel like after
they've rung off 8 straight, and I think after ring off 8 straight, I think people are somewhat excited to watch the team at the ballpark. It's almost like they can feel vindicated for going, well, I'm going to the ballpark. I mean, hey, they're playing pretty good baseball here again. Like, yeah,
I think you're going to get a slow trickle because of this.
I don't think it's going to be sold out.
No.
Don't get me wrong here.
No, it's not.
But it's not going to be 7,000 where they're reporting, 17,000.
Right.
Because we saw some of those games early in the season.
Yeah, I agree.
We got to win.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
If you don't, no.
Right. And again, we've had this conversation before. I don't think the style necessarily matters. It's the wins. Mm-hmm. I think people will adapt. I think fans will adapt to the style. I think they'll say, "Hey, I like the way they're playing." Well, you like that they're winning. So whether they're home runs, whether it's some rendition of Whitey ball, whatever. People will show up, Ray. People will come, Ray. But you need the dubs.
Last quick question here for you guys, and we get a lot of these texts, and trust me, I'm completely sympathetic to it. From the 636 says, Jamie, I'm a single dad with 2 kids. It's an easy $200 to take them to a game. I know. I'm fortunate enough whenever I go that I'm able to get tickets from somebody that I know within the Cardinals organization or whatever. But the concessions and all that other stuff is not free. Mm-hmm. So I get it. So how do the Cardinals fix that problem? Because the economy right now, as we know, it's not going anywhere different. And the price of going to the Busch Stadium as opposed to, whether it's in Kansas City or where, everybody's pretty competitive in their concession prices and their party. How does baseball fix this problem? How does St. Louis fix this problem? Because you can't just go in there and say, okay, it's $1 hot dog and $5 beers. We're going back to the 70s here or the 80s.
Mm-hmm. They got a DJ on Friday nights.
Oh, Carey.
I do think it's
$3 for a hot dog.
I do think it's
trying
lowering.
To solve your problem. They don't want to help.
I do think it's lowering the ticket price, which they have. They've got.
They always lower the ticket prices
and stuff like that.
Once you're in there, man, it's like I just said. I'm fortunate enough to be able to get comp tickets. And once I'm in there, I'm still $150 deep.
Yeah.
And it's not me just drinking all the beers, Carey.
Depending on how many. Yeah, they stop after the 7th. I know you got to.
But still. No, I get 2 kids and bring your girlfriend, and all of a sudden they get $20 each in concessions. You're at $100 and $150 quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Splashback Deuce also with a great point. Jamie also writes his own parking passes.
He does.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
John scores. Jamie crying poor. I'm not crying poor. I'm trying to help out my guy from the 636, John. Come on.
Tell. Jeremy Rutherford's next. We'll talk to him about the Blues off season, at least the start of it. That's next on 101 ESPN. There's no reason to worry about how Mosby Building Arts will treat your home if they're on the job and you're out of town. A lot of people, they do remodeling projects and they go out of town, they go on vacation, and then that way when they come back, their kitchen or their bathroom, it's remodeled, it's done. Well, you don't want to risk hiring the wrong remodeling company that when you're checking the cameras, you see everybody sitting around and maybe they're playing poker or something like that instead of working on your home. But Mosby is the right remodeling company. They can remodel your kitchen. You can choose your designer wisely, and Mosby Building Arts won't leave you with remodeling regret. They've got the designers with good taste. They're going to work with you to create a space that fits your style and your needs. They've got a trustworthy construction team that shows up on time, cleans up the job site, and is great to your pets and your family as well. When it comes to Mosby Building Arts, they offer a smooth, stress-free process from design to completion. They got honest pricing, no gimmicks, no hidden fees. Don't risk hiring the wrong team. Call Mosby Building Arts, the right remodeling company, at 314-909-1800 or visit callmosby.com to schedule your free consultation today, and then you can see the difference for yourself. Mosby Building Arts, the right remodeling company.
Time for the Rutherford Report on 101 ESPN.
Anything you folks want to know about the fascinating world of pro hockey? Here we go.
Let's head to the Calgary and Thompson phone lines. We're joined by our guy, Jeremy Rutherford, with Carey Davis and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. JR, I know you're working on your off-season grades and everything like that for the Athletic, and I hear you got the forwards coming out tomorrow. Is that correct?
Yeah. Professor Rutherford here, just finalizing the grades.
Nice.
So that later on in the week, Jamie can be critical of them.
Come on, JR. Why you gotta be like that?
Yeah, but you always got to slip the line in there about these are on a curve. These are graded by the player's role with the team, but I'm sure people in the comment section will be really forgiving tomorrow.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, they're very reasonable, JR. Can you give us a tease on where the forwards, how the forwards did?
Yeah, I think so. I think that, you look at the season, and it's a tale of two seasons, right? So the first half, if we would have done a mid-season grade, a lot of these grades would have been D's and F's, right, until they got it kind of turned around. And so I think the way it ended, there's probably some recency bias. You think about how some guys finished, and you want to give them a good grade. You can't completely forget about the first half of the season. But I think let's just look at a guy like Jordan Kyrou for a second here. The past 2 years, I went and looked it up. I've given him a B- and a B the past 2 years. And, just a tease for tomorrow, I gave him an A- based on not only did he put up the offense again, 36 goals, but the defense was there. And sure, there's some hiccups, there's some costly turnovers throughout the year. But I think when you ask for a guy to do more defensively, and he does, you have to acknowledge it. So, a couple A's in there. As you can imagine, those fourth-line guys, that WTF line, graded out really well. And again, it'll just be the forwards tomorrow. And then later in the week, we'll have the D, the goalies, the coaches, and the GM.
JR, I often wonder if, and I don't know this to be true, just thinking about it, do you ever get a text message from any of the players that you grade asking, like, really? Or like, hey, thanks for the good grade, or really, what game were you watching?
No, the one thing with players, and you might know this, Jamie, is if a player reads it, they never acknowledge that they read a story or they read a report card. It's just kind of how they treat you, or when you walk in the locker room, you walk up to their stall, you can tell sometimes when they've read it, when they've not. I remember last year, 2 years ago, Pat Maroon got traded to Boston, and several of the Blues players were kind of gathering together, and it turned out, I looked at them, it's like, wait a minute, this is Pat Maroon, this is Robert Thomas, this is Jordan Binnington, this is the group of players that won the Stanley Cup together. I'm going to ask these guys if I could get a picture of them. And I said, hey, could you guys kind of turn around and pose for 1 second? Braden Chen said no, and kind of turned around and walked the other way and was like, oh, have I written something about him recently? So he reluctantly put on a T-shirt after the game and posed for the picture. But I think that was one where I went back and read the last week's worth of coverage and said, maybe I had a line in there about Chen that he didn't like. So sometimes you can tell, but don't necessarily get a text message about it.
Well, did you? Had you written anything?
How mean were you?
Yeah, it's a great follow-up question. You're a good reporter. Great follow-up question.
Don't give him that much credit.
It was a few days before that I had written, hey, listen, there's a lot of criticism for Doug Armstrong. There's a lot of criticism for the coaches. But let's not forget about the players in this equation. They deserve some criticism, too. And as a captain of the team, I'm sure he kind of took exception to that.
JR, when you're looking at this team, and obviously you're doing the grades, what do you think the need is for the next season? In what areas do they need to upgrade?
Well, Carey, I think at some point they're going to need a finisher to come on board. I think they need another goal scorer. And I know Snuggerud has some upside, and maybe he can be that guy next year. But when you create offense and you get zone time, they have guys who dust it off, or they got guys who shoot wide. I think they're going to have to find somebody eventually, whether it's next year or a couple years, who can finish, and those guys are expensive. So that's one thing. But to me, I keep looking at this defense, and I keep saying, who's going to be around next year? Who's going to be around in 2 years? I feel like they're kind of handcuffed with the contracts, and so, would you like to move on from a Nick Leddy, maybe even a Justin Falk? We all know that it looks like Torrey Krug's going to he's not going to play any longer. So I feel like there's some guys on the back end. They really need to define that top six. They like their top four, and I get it, but who's coming back to be in that top six? They could probably use a second pair right shot guy, if they decide to move on from Justin Falk. So those are the two needs I see.
Who is that player? You talk about a finisher, a scorer. Who is that guy? We've heard Mitch Marner's name. We've heard a couple other people's name. Who would you think that guy should be or could be?
Well, in a perfect world where money wasn't an object, it might be Mitch Marner. And I don't just say that because he's that shiny, he's the shiny guy right now. Of course, he's going to make $14 million, but this is a guy who would look unbelievable on Robert Thomas's right side. I mean, not only they've played together, they're friends, they probably got some chemistry together, but also he plays that 200-foot game that Doug Armstrong said we need to go out and get some 200-foot offense. So that's a reach. It's a stretch, Carey. I get it. After that, I'd have to sit down and look at some names of some other guys. I know. I think that Riv, you've mentioned Bennett, right? As a guy who could come in and help out. So there's definitely some guys who could come in, but they're going to be rich. They're going to be expensive, and are the Blues going to spend even more than they did last year? We'll have to see how ownership looks at that.
Jeremy Rutherford, our Blues insider with The Athletic, joining us right now on the Fast Line on 101 ESPN. JR, I don't think we spoke with you last week after Doug Armstrong and Jim Montgomery did their season end wrap up. So what was the biggest thing that stood out to you? Maybe the aha moment from either Jim Montgomery's press conference or Doug Armstrong's presser?
Yeah, I think it was, Jim Montgomery's presser was kind of short. I think it was 12 or 13 minutes, and he kind of reflected on that Game 7 game a lot. In terms of the takeaway from Doug Armstrong, one of the takeaways was that they want to go out and find that 200-foot offensive player. He also talked about the 6-on-5 and how that's something that's going to have to change, and also how he expected that there's going to be some turnover with this roster. They keep talking about 5% better, and Doug Armstrong said you can't get 5% better without some change. So where's that change going to come from? The past couple of years, like I touched on, it's been tough to move on from some of these contracts. But as we know, a lot of these no-trade clauses are going from full no trades to modified no trades this coming summer. Some of these guys are going to go from full 32 teams, you can't trade me, to just 15 teams. And so guys like Justin Falk for one, Braden Shen for another. So it'll be interesting to see if they revisit with Shen. He didn't want to leave at the deadline. Not saying he wants to leave this time, but will they talk to him about it again? There are some question marks, I think, as these no-trade clause shift to modifieds that I think will give the Blues a little more flexibility.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Jared. I hope they don't revisit the Braden Shen thing, because if they trade the captain, I think that they're going to lose a huge part of what has been created here in the last quarter of the season. But that being said, my question to you regarding that is, do you think that there might be a buyout for the first time in Doug Armstrong's tenure? Because there may not be a hockey trade out there available. There may not be a trade to where teams are going to accept the full salary of let's say it's a Leddy or a Falk. And if you eat some of that salary back in the trade, I mean, you're technically kind of buying the player out anyway, because you're paying some of the freight. So do you think this year might be the time where Army says, okay, look, this team has shown me it's headed in a direction. We have interest in, let's say, an Aaron Ekblad, just throwing it out there. And we have to move on from player X, Y, or Z. I don't care. I'm going to just buy the player because there's not that much term left on those contracts.
No, and that's the thing. And first of all, I want to agree with you on Shen. I think you undo a lot if you try to move him. I think he comes back, so much respect in that locker room, and it's a carryover effect. You lose that captain, I think it changes what you have in that locker room. So I agree with you there. And then secondly, could we see a buyout? Obviously, we have not seen one in Doug Armstrong's entire tenure. He doesn't want to waste the owner's money, and I think he takes great pride in the track record he's had without buying any players out. Now, has he pulled some rabbits out of his hat to get out of some contracts? Yori Laterra, cough, right? So there's been some situations over the years where he's gotten himself out of some jams. I think you could, but I think if Doug has made it this far into the term of these contracts with Leddy, Falk, even Krug, you throw in that conversation, and he's getting close to the finish line, why not have a Leddy potentially, I'm just saying potentially, as a 7th, 6th D guy if you can, ride out the end of the contract. If you can't, and I understand why you would want to move him, I completely understand. If there's a team out there who would take him in a trade and you're able to retain salary, perhaps you go that route. And at the end of the day, last resort, you don't want him on the roster and you don't feel like he can help you and there isn't a trade out there, then by all means, I don't think they'd be opposed to a buyout. Doug said that last year himself, that it is an option for the team.
JR has his grades for the Blues coming out at The Athletic over the next couple of days, including the forwards coming out very soon. Make sure you check that out, either at The Athletic or follow him on Twitter at JP Rutherford. JR, great stuff as always. We'll talk to you again soon, my friend.
Yeah, and you can listen to the critical reaction to it tomorrow on the Fast Lane at 2 o'clock.
Absolutely, yeah. Jamie will absolutely crap on said grades.
That's not true.
Tomorrow starting at 2.
That's not true.
No, good call.
Sometimes I compliment JR, too.
Sometimes. Yeah, see you, JR.
All right, Jim.
All right, it's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. The Air Comfort Service text line is 314-399-9646. If you have a question for us, we got our part one of our Sports Six-Pack coming up next.
St. Louis homeowners, are you currently thinking about upsizing, downsizing, or just relocating at all this year? Well, when life happens and you need to sell your home, I recommend that you talk to my friend and trusted realtor, Gloria Liu, with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. I can tell you this, that Gloria understands every seller's situation is unique, which is why she's created custom programs to fit every home seller's needs. So many people move out of necessity. Maybe they get a new job, or maybe it's financial reasons. Sometimes people move because they want to upgrade. Things are going better for them right now. They want to sell their home and get into a better area or something that they love. Well, all of these scenarios have different challenges, and that's why Gloria Liu has created several different programs to meet and exceed those challenges. And she's been in the business for over 20 years, so she understands exactly what the St. Louis market is, where it's trending, where it's been, what you should ask for your home, what you should pay for your next home, all of those things. And all you have to do is give her a call. Tell her Jamie Rivers sent you, and her number is 314-325-6888. Again, that's 314-325-6888, or you can always visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
.101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals have an 8-game win streak, and they bring that to Philadelphia as they take on the Philadelphia Phillies. Matthew Liberatore on the mound tonight, going up against Christopher Sanchez. First pitch is at 5:45. We just talked with Jeremy Rutherford, our Blues insider with The Athletic. If you missed that interview, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find all of our interviews and all of our shows. And that's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. We have our Sports Six-Pack coming up next, so get your questions into the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. We'll do the Sports Six-Pack next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is refreshed by the Finnish Long Drink, Finland's best-kept secret. A sparkling citrus beverage made with real liquor. Visit thelongdrink.com.
With Carey Davis and Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter. The Air Comfort Service text line is 314-399-9646. If you have a question for us, send it in because we've got part one of our Sports Six-Pack right now. Andrew Marsh is your question.
Question number one.
From the 636, when do we apologize to Mo for putting together a winning roster?
We don't.
He's just doing his job.
Yeah. You don't get praise for doing your job.
And it's a little premature to say it's a winning roster.
Well, they have won 8 straight.
Yeah, but let's see where it is at the end of the year.
There's that.
It's a long season, Anthony. Got a lot of games left to be played.
Okay, but can we give him credit for Victor Scott?
I would. No, I'm joking. I do give him credit.
Oh, that's right.
I thought
you were going to no.
Yeah. Doubling down.
No.
I give him credit for standing pat. I've said this time and time again. We give Mo a lot of crap, but he's only doing what he's allowed to do. Mm-hmm. People are, well, Mo, why don't you spend more money? It ain't my money, man.
Right.
But he also can't come out and say, it ain't my fast lane money.
It's not my budget.
There are people above me that say this is what we're spending, and I have to do the best job that I can do putting together a roster. I think what they've done this year was much needed. It was sort of a reset. We're not going to go and spend any money, essentially. You got Phil Maytime, but we're not going to really spend any money in free agency. We're going to go with the guys that we have. We feel confident in the guys that we drafted, that we developed, and we're going to give them every opportunity to play. Victor Scott has been amazing. Mason Wynn has done outstanding again. You're still waiting on Jordan Walker. You're still waiting on Nolan Gorman. Alec Burleson has been good.
Right.
So I think, you give him credit for what he's done with this roster. Does this roster result in a championship? Probably not this year or next year, but the pieces are in place for this team to potentially be really good down the line.
Yeah, so listen, it's not that I'm just being that guy, but I want to give credit to several people. I don't necessarily know who they all are, but there's a lot more than just John Mozeliak that goes into drafting and developing these players. And when you look at the current roster, when you go through it from top to bottom, you've got Nootbaar, homegrown. Wynn, homegrown. Donovan, homegrown. Arenado was a trade he acquired. It's a pretty damn good player that you acquired. I'll give him a gold star for that. Even though Arenado hasn't, last year wasn't great, the overall body of work is a Hall of Fame. Contreras, great at bat. Did he do a good job of paying too much for him to play a catcher position he no longer plays? So that one there's probably not as great of a job by Mo. Herrera, homegrown. Pozo, don't know where the hell they got him, but Jordan Walker, yet to be determined. Victor Scott, homegrown. Palante, homegrown. Liberatore, you traded for him. So there are a lot.
And was criticized heavily.
And rightfully so, up until this point. So when you look at the Cardinals roster overall, you have to give credit to the front office and the scouting staff or whatever for putting together that many players that are homegrown now, that you have a lot of cost certainty on.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's where I'll give the credit.
I'll add to Jamie's point. When it comes to a roster and giving out criticism and credit, it can't just stop at the GM or the president, because you have an entire scouting staff. You have a director of your scouting, which in this case, Randy Flores has a pivotal role in deciding who he's going to put in front of Mo, and Flores has got an entire team. So that part of the blame and the criticism and also the praise and the success, it goes to the scouting department, your player personnel department, your minor league managers and coaching staffs, your big league coaching staff, and everybody in the front office. It's not just one guy. One guy takes the blame because that anger and it's got to go somewhere. But it's not just one person that is in charge of an entire Major League Baseball organization and the success or failures of a player. But this team thus far, it has exceeded expectations, at least right now.
Question number 2.
No? Okay. This next one comes from...
Get the momentum.
I think that was fair. I think what we did was fair.
We can get the momentum.
Mongo has a question.
Hey, Mongo.
All right, Mongo.
What sports game did you invent/play as a kid that you'll never forget? Me and my buddies played a football/wrestling game in the pool. We simply called it Score.
So I don't think I invented this by any means, but it's one that we played in schoolyard, in particular in the wintertime up in Canada, because there'd be snow on the ground, be full contact soccer.
I like that.
Yeah, we play full contact soccer to where you lean back, you're targeting kids.
Yeah.
You see the kid with the one leg planted, he's got no balance. You are just, you're folding that kid like a lawn chair. Oh, man. You're a predator out there. I mean, physically.
Right.
As a child, you're not,
Yeah.
If I was out there, that'd be weird.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get
you get what I'm saying, right?
You're not playing this game against children.
No. I was a child at the time. But so that one there is not like it was invented or anything. We also played full contact basketball too. That was fun. But that was not in the winter. That was in summer.
So 90s style basketball.
Go up for a layup and get taken out.
But even offensively too, charging wasn't a thing. If you were a big kid, you could dribble, you could drop a shoulder, go through the guy.
I used to love playing basketball in the 90s with your buddies and other people, rec leagues and things like that. And you just, when you call your own fouls and you just you hammer each other and you look you ain't calling that foul, are you? And nobody would ever call a foul.
And then the next time it gets worse because he's paying you back.
Yep.
Yeah. I think that's how we got the full contact basketball.
That's basketball.
We had an argument. It's actually, I remember this now. We had an argument between two of the kids and they're going back and forth, foul, not foul. And we said, you know what? Forget it then. No more fouls.
Yeah.
No more fouls. The only thing we couldn't use, you couldn't clothesline somebody.
That's true. That's good.
That's good, clean basketball.
Good, clean basketball. So I grew up where we grew up. I had a ranch style house, and so the roof, obviously in the back, just goes straight down. There was no, it's not like you had the second floor or whatever. And I've told this before. I used to stand on one side of the yard and throw the football up on the roof, and I would run as fast as I could, and then get under a spot where I think it was going to come down, but I couldn't see because it was still coming down. Yeah. So I played that game with myself and then my buddies as well. But all I keep thinking about is my parents inside, where the ball goes. And then that just goes over and over all the time, right?
Stalter on the fumble.
And but you're outside.
But we're outside. Yeah. They never complain, which was nice.
So, Mumsy, if you're watching right now, you will remember this. And I think I've told this on the air before, but we had the foundation in my house, and there's a little lip on the foundation before the brick was set back. And I used to say that the first row of bricks above the foundation was the strike zone. And I'd sit on the other side of the driveway. And I'm talking, the driveway was like the size of this studio. Like, it's close quarters. And I used a lacrosse ball. So I'd be pitching with a lacrosse ball. And if it hit anywhere else, it'd usually be like a ground ball.
Yeah.
So then, soon as it was hit, I became the shortstop and the second baseman. And I'd field it and then throw it up high.
I did the same thing.
Boom, back to me at first base. Out.
Sometimes it'd hit the lip and come back.
Come up high.
Yep.
And if it came back up high and hit the house behind us, that was a home run.
Yeah. Played the same game.
Okay.
Off the bricks,
But now I'm thinking in my head, like, years later, I'd be out there, like, I play a full 9 innings.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But thump.
Yeah.
They never said anything.
My parents never said a word. The only time they got ticked, and rightfully so, so we had a fence. You climb up the fence onto the
roof,
onto the tree, onto the roof.
Yeah.
So my buddy John and I got a little tired. It was snowing, so the ball wasn't coming down. You know, same game where the ball would come down off the roof. It got stuck up there.
Yeah.
So we decided to go up on the roof and play on the roof. I'll never forget it, man. My dad was painting inside. He was painting something inside. And he came out. He goes, "Get the down off the roof." And he didn't, and we were like, "Oh, okay." And we were like going to the side to get down off the tree wherever. He goes, "No, jump." We're like, I looked at my buddy. I'm like, "We better jump." So we jumped off the side into the snowbank.
That's funny.
He's like, "Don't you ever do that again." That was end of that conversation.
My mom will tell this story too when you guys see her this week later on. We had a huge tree in the front yard, higher than the house. I used to climb that tree. And then every time you climb, you get a little more, risky.
Yeah.
I climbed this sucker to the top. So I remember being, and it was like wobbling back and forth. And my mom came out and she tells the story all the time. She goes, "I didn't yell at you because I didn't want to startle you and have you fall from 40 feet in the air." So she's like, I stood there and watched you. And then you started to make your way down. And then she goes, "Then when you got down, I remember grabbing you." Don't you do that.
I did something similar to Jamie, too. I was in the basement, and I had a hacky sack and a knee hockey stick. But I would play baseball. So I'd throw up the hacky sack, and then I'd hit it. And in my basement, we had, paneling at the bottom. So there was, a decent spot where you could be like, okay, this is a home run wall. And so if it went over that wall, it was a home run. But it was all based on how I felt like I hit the hacky sack.
Yeah, I get it.
Or who you were hitting, who you were that was batting.
Who I was batting.
That's
I'd
right.
play as two. If it was a lower level batter, and and it was like a line drive that went up the wall, it's a base hit up the middle. Like if it hit the ceiling, it was a pop up. But if it hit the ceiling closer to the wall, then that's a home run. It was all
and it was Albert Pujols.
Yeah,
so that's a home run.
Yeah, he had the power. I get it.
Yeah, no, I played that all the time.
Yeah.
And I had a league and everything. But it was just me. Same thing with basketball. The little hoop and, you could hang it up on your door.
On the door, yeah.
Dude, I learned how to dribble between my legs with a little basketball.
Yeah.
And I translated that to a big basketball. Now, I was still stinking basketball, but
still,
I had a whole league. I had standings. I had everything.
Slam dunk contest.
Yeah.
And I'd grade myself on them.
I used to have a beanbag chair and a small football, and you know how once the beanbag starts to get worn a little bit, it moves a lot more. I used to have the beanbag. I used to throw it up and then hit the beanbag, and if it tackled me, I was down a certain yard line, or wrap up.
Our parents were probably like, "What kind of drugs are our kids doing?"
Yeah.
Man, it was fun though.
I used to take a small bouncy ball too and throw it against my room wall with the drumstick and try to hit it.
It's not bad. I did the same thing with a Super Bowl. We had the hallway and we had the staircase that came down. It was not a full wall, but and I used the coffee table was the net. So I'd have a baseball glove and a little knee hockey stick, and I'd be on my knees, and I'd fire the Super Ball off the wall
and save it,
and make a glove save or a blocker save.
Yeah.
I'd look back now and that wall was completely shredded.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, what? My mom's in the kitchen, like, she's dunk. Like, the poor woman has to have PTSD, I swear.
Did you guys ever in the pool, like above ground pool, or it could have been any pool, but you throw the little water ball up and you go back and you like try and rob a home run? I did that all the time.
I used to get against the fence all the time.
We used to do with the football, be like running start, and then your buddy would throw it, and you like to do your best, like dive and catch
100%.
into the water.
Yes. Did that on my honeymoon. People in the pool at the resort. Somebody had a football,
and you intercepted it,
and we just no.
That'd be the best. He's throwing it to his son. No. Anthony's like intercept. Yeah.
No, we're drinking a lot, right? No. And you're meeting new people and whatever. And there was this couple from England, same deal. They're on their honeymoon, and we started getting grouped together, and I was throwing the football to these guys, jumping in. So the next day, my arm was like hanging off. I must have thrown 150 passes, but I was hammered, so I didn't feel anything.
It didn't matter.
I did that next day. All right, good question.
That's a great question. A lot of good memories out of that. I'm glad we all had positive memories. Not one of us is not in tears.
Right, no kidding.
I have no toys, no friends. That's why I played alone.
All right, why don't we carry on?
That was me.
Is that why you're sitting there silent?
Carey's mom tied a stake to his neck so the dog would play with him.
I'd sit there and have a flashlight and just make circles on the wall. That was my game.
That was it?
That was it.
You pretend you're like Star Wars?
Go outside, I would call it Star Wars.
There you go.
On the wall.
That's a game.
Yeah, that's good.
Or I would go outside and throw the ball up against the wall.
I was wondering why Carey was quiet.
Yeah. But by myself, that was it. I got two brothers, but they were, I'm the only child by my mom.
Yeah.
So I was a single child in the house by myself, often.
Same.
Yeah.
So that's why I had invent games.
I had an older brother, and most of my friends were his age, but we'd always find a way.
We would go outside and
something
play
athletic.
Tackle, though.
Yeah.
That was our thing. Kill a man.
Yeah. Darn right. All right, we'll carry over the Sports Six Pack. Part 2 next on 101 ESPN. Head to Auto Centers Nissan or go to AutoCentersNissan.com because when you head out to Herculaneum, you're going to see over 800 new and used vehicles all in one easy location right off I-55 and McNutt out in Herculaneum, just minutes from South County. When they brag about their huge inventory, they actually have the vehicles on the lot. There's no lot hopping required, or when you head out to Herculaneum, they're not going to be like, you know what? No, that vehicle you just found online, that's actually 2 counties over. Some dealerships, they brag about the huge inventory, and then they don't have the actual vehicles there for you. When it comes to Auto Centers Nissan, they will, and during their Bloom and Vroom sales event, you could score big with no payments for 6 months on select new Nissans, no payments for 3 months on used vehicles, a complimentary new car lifetime warranty, a 30-day new car return promise, and 3 oil changes included on every new Nissan. And if your credit's in rough shape, don't worry. They've got the best credit experts that you're going to find at any dealership at Auto Centers Nissan. So go to AutoCentersNissan.com or check them out in person. Tell them Stalter sent you. It's Auto Centers Nissan, where the inventory is big, the savings are bigger, and the nonsense is nowhere to be found.
Answer the question.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me.
The Sports Six-Pack is refreshed by the Finnish Long Drink, Finland's best-kept secret. A sparkling citrus beverage made with real liquor. Visit thelongdrink.com.
All right, part 2 of the Sports Six-Pack. By the way, that whole conversation carried over into the...
We're still telling
stories of our childhood. Carey left, though. Carey didn't...
He's mad about it.
Carey's like, I got nothing.
It's all coming to me now.
Yeah. All right, Marsh, let's continue. The Six-Pack.
Question number 3.
And hug?
Yeah.
Later. Oh, okay.
There you go.
His little bald head's so cute.
I'm sure it made him feel better.
You feel better? A little bit?
Fine.
Was it weird at all?
Nah.
Not for me either.
Good.
All right, now that you guys have made up, from the 618.
We're fighting.
You were fighting earlier.
Oh, that's a long time ago. Carey and I forget about
Like
that.
an hour ago.
We don't even remember that.
I have no
All
clue
right,
where
was
we
that
are.
today?
I don't know. Probably not.
It's almost like every day.
They do think we fight. Like, they really think we are.
Wait,
like,
hate
when
each
we
other?
don't like,
Yeah. That's the farthest thing from the truth ever. Carey's my boy. I love him.
They're like, are you guys really mad at each other?
No. We're just competitive.
Very.
Psychopaths.
All right, from the 618. Saw an article earlier that talked about the best young core fours in baseball. The Cardinals were ranked 6th with Herrera, Wynn, Scott, and Liberatore. Would you agree with that? And has Walker just lost so much faith as a member of this future core?
Not just Walker. You forgot another name, Gorman. Gorman wasn't on that list. I mean, well, Gorman and Walker were supposed to be your big pieces. They were supposed to be the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're not even on that list of core 4.
Yeah.
I think that's a bigger problem. Both of them not being there.
Is it a new core 4, though? Mason Wynn, Victor Scott?
But Mason Wynn broke into the league at the same time as Jordan Walker. In fact, Jordan Walker was ahead of Mason Wynn.
Yeah.
So, I'm just saying.
I think that, I mean,
Walker's 22 years old.
Yeah. I don't think
he can be like
23.
I don't think it's over for him.
I think it's over.
No. Yeah. I
Was
think,
it over when the
Bob Pro?
I think he's still got time. But I do think it is. I mean, it is interesting. There was a text, I lost it. It actually, and it was from earlier. I forget where it was from, so I do apologize. But he said if you have the end up the middle with Wynn and Scott being really good players, that's probably better than a right fielder and wherever you decide a DH or, you know what I mean? So you hit on those two and you don't hit on the other two, your team is better, both offensively and defensively. But I still think that there is time for Gorman and Walker to figure it out. I don't think the story is completely written on them yet.
The rest is still unwritten. Yeah.
What song is that?
I think it's Natasha Bedingfield. No?
Wait, I didn't know what you were singing.
Sing it.
Unwritten. Like, I am unwritten.
That was Laguna Beach soundtrack. Remember that reality show?
No.
On MTV?
No.
The rest is still unwritten.
Yeah, there you go. That's that song.
Okay.
I think you're right, Marsh.
No, Natasha Bedingfield.
There you go.
Nice.
Nobody doubted you, bud.
We believed you.
Yeah. Totally.
Question number 4.
You had no idea, did you, Anthony?
No.
From the 636.
Creed.
Always.
Now that we've seen Battlehawk games with Manny Wilkins and Max Duggan this season, between them and A.J. McCarron the past couple seasons, which quarterback do you think is the best fit for the team?
The quarterback that's playing now. The other two ain't here. I think if you were to put A.J. McCarron in this offense, he wouldn't have success. This is a different offense that is built for Manny Wilkins, for Max Duggan. They are more mobile quarterbacks where A.J. McCarron was not. There's a lot of zone reads where the quarterback reads the end man and he can keep it if the defensive end or the end man is going to tackle the running back. And then they have some quarterback draws in. They are doing more with the quarterback running right now. So it's tough to say which quarterback would be better because it's two completely different offenses.
I think with the state of the offensive line in the UFL, and Carey, you and I we were kind of going over some things earlier today. I think that the offensive lines around the UFL, they're always going to be. There's only so much you can do, right? Like, I don't think you're going to have an elite offensive line in the UFL. Probably. So if you're not going to have that, you better have some mobility at the quarterback position. I think that's why Anthony Beck decided to go out and fill up his quarterback room with guys that can move. So, A.J. McCarron was a better quarterback than Manny Wilkins and
I agree with that.
And Max Duggan. I don't really think there's a debate there. But could A.J. McCarron stay healthy playing behind a UFL line for 8+ weeks? I don't think so. So that is why he moved off of A.J. McCarron, got some more mobility, and I think that was probably smart.
So, but based on what we're seeing from the Battlehawks offensively this year, they're struggling.
Yeah, they're not.
So
the passing game is not firing.
Okay. So that goes back to the original argument or question is, who would be? I think A.J. McCarron, no matter what, is better than these two guys. Because if you're talking about, they're playing a different style of game, you got to have more mobility. They're not putting points on the board, and you just said the passing game's suffering.
Yes. I don't know if A.J. McCarron could last, though.
I understand. But if he could.
If he could, then A.J. McCarron. Based on what we're seeing.
That would be
I
my pick,
don't
too.
think it matters. No, I'm saying I don't think A.J. McCarron would.
He matters. Is he?
No, he matters. He
kids.
matters. I don't think it matters.
Well, I think he's a better quarterback, though.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
That's all. That was the question.
But if it's hard to throw. I don't know, Jeremy. I haven't tried it. But when you're on your back looking up at the sky, let's ask Joe Burrow. It's hard to throw the ball downfield when you're looking up at the sky.
Yeah, but if you're still not scoring points, though, and you're supposed to have these mobile quarterbacks that are running around and still not accomplishing anything, I just don't know.
Hey, they'll get there.
Okay, fine.
It's only been a couple of weeks, Jamie.
Already got one guy hurt.
Oh,
that wasn't. He tore his own Achilles.
That wasn't fair.
Because he's running around, Carey.
Nah, he was a quarterback draw. That damn thing popped on him.
I feel bad for him.
Yeah.
All right, I believe we have a returning Gauntlet contestant, right?
Yeah, we have John.
John's back. That's right.
Well, on Friday,
M-I-Z, John.
Yeah. Put the boots to Carey.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
John, round 2, Gauntlet, next on 101 ESPN.
warriors. 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you survive the gauntlet?
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Visit BlueNoteRoofingSTL.com for a free inspection.
4:07, your time check, brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler, with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter, and we welcome back John for round 2 of the Gauntlet after John defeated Carey on Friday. What's up, John?
Hey, what's up, guys? How are you?
We're doing great, man. Hope the weekend was good. Would you like to take on Marsh, Jamie, or me in round 2?
Let's take on Marsh.
Marsh it is. All right. Go ahead and tell Marsh to spin that wheel, and then we'll kick him out of here.
Marsh, spin that wheel.
All right, Marsh, get out of here. Please, and thank you. John, what category are you hoping for today?
You know, I kind of wouldn't mind sticking with football.
Okay, well, you won in football on Friday. Let's see what you get today. Carey can see the wheel.
This is going to be a tough one, John. You got Marshy, and the category is hockey.
Ouch.
Yeah, Marshy's pretty good at that old ice hockey.
Yes, he is.
It's better than going against Jamie Rivers in hockey, though, right?
Well, true for the most part, but Marshy's better with like dates and years where guys are drafted and games on certain dates. I can't remember anything like that.
Yeah, he's got a memory like an elephant on that.
He does.
All right. Well, John, as you know, you're going to get 4 questions, all hockey related. Marsh will receive the same 4 questions today. Each question is worth 2 points, unless you ask for the options. If you ask for the options, those questions become worth 1 point. Are you ready?
I am ready.
All right, here we go. Adam Lowry scored the game-winning goal in Game 7 against the Blues. Name the only other player with a Game 7 game-winning goal in the first round.
I'll take my options.
Sure. Mikko Rantanen, Wyatt Johnston, or Jamie Benn?
I'll take Rantanen.
Final answer?
Yes.
All right, John, question 2. Along with the Edmonton Oilers, which other team led the playoffs through first round with 27 goals scored? So the Oilers as a team scored 27 goals. So did another team. Which team was that?
Can you repeat the question one more time? I'm sorry.
That's all right. Along with the Edmonton Oilers, which other team led the playoffs through the first round, scoring 27 goals?
I'll say Toronto Maple Leafs. Final answer.
Question number 3. Through the first round, which team had the worst goal differential, sitting at -8?
I will take my options, please.
Is it the Tampa Bay Lightning, the Ottawa Senators, or the New Jersey Devils?
I'll take the New Jersey Devils. Final answer.
Final question, John. Name the only Eastern Conference team with 2 overtime wins in the first round.
I'll take my options, please.
Carolina Hurricanes, Toronto Maple Leafs, Washington Capitals.
I think it was the Maple Leafs again, so I'll go Maple Leafs. Final answer.
All right, let's bring back the one and only Andrew Marsh. John, how you feeling?
Hockey is not my strong suit.
Okay, all right. Let's see how Marsh does here. He's got the backward hat, he's got the high shorts, and he's got the collared shirt.
The high shorts?
Yep.
Is that the old 5-inchers, Marshy?
The old 5-inch seam?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't know. I mean, I can pull them up a little bit. They can be a little shorter. I can pull them down and, well, not all the way down, but.
No,
well, you could. I could. You could.
Yeah, you couldn't see on here anyways. Right?
I'm sure we still have an HR team somewhere in the building, so let's not do that. All right, Marsh, lock it in.
Oh, I'm locked in.
You got hockey today.
Oh, okay, good.
Let's do that hockey.
Yeah, pack a lunch.
Question one.
Right.
Adam Lowry scored the game-winning goal in Game 7 against the Blues. Name the only other player with a Game 7 game-winning goal in the first round.
Game 7 game-winning goal in the first round. Well, that would have to be the man that does not stop scoring. Mikko Rantanen. Final answer.
All right, Marshy, question 2. Along with the Edmonton Oilers.
Oh, no. That's wrong. I'm an idiot.
Would you like to go back?
No, I can't. I can't. I know.
Easy.
I know.
He
I was going
knows
to
he can't.
You shouldn't do that to him. Now that is toxic behavior.
That was
toxic
very
behavior.
toxic.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were doing a radio show.
And you're like grinning about it.
Yeah.
Would you
I was
like
gonna
to
set
go
him
back?
up. But you can't.
You're done. You're done here.
All right, Marshy, are you done beating yourself up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, it depends on if I lose. All right, let's go.
All right, question.
That may have cost you.
Go ahead, Jamie.
Question 2. Along with the Edmonton Oilers, which other team led the playoffs through the first round with 27 goals scored?
With 27 goals scored, along with the Edmonton Oilers. Man, if I had to take a wild guess, I'm going to go with your St. Louis Blues. Put up a decent amount of goals on home ice. That would lead up till around 15. They put some goals in on the road. They played 7 games. I'm going to go with the Blues. Final answer.
Question number 3. Through the first round, which team had the worst goal differential sitting at -8?
Worst goal differential at -8. Well, would it be the Jets? Let's use the options.
Is it the Tampa Bay Lightning, the Ottawa Senators, or the New Jersey Devils?
Oh, thank goodness I took the options. Man, I feel like Tampa got the crap kicked out of them. Let's go with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Final answer.
Question 4. Name the only Eastern Conference team with 2 overtime wins in the first round.
With 2 overtime wins in the first round, that would be the Toronto Maple Leafs. Final answer.
All right, let's go over these.
So mad.
Name the only Eastern Conference team with 2 overtime wins in the first round. John said Toronto. Marsh said Toronto. Correct answer is...
Oh, Canada. Toronto Maple Leafs.
But Marsh did not need the options on that one, so he's got a 2-1 lead. Through the first round, which team had the worst goal differential starting at -8? Marsh took the options. He said the Tampa Bay Lightning. John also took the options, but he went with the New Jersey Devils. Correct answer is...
The New Jersey Devils.
We got a tie game, 2-2.
Sweet.
Adam Lowry scored the game-winning goal in Game 7 against the Blues. Name the only other player with a Game 7 game-winning goal in the first round. Marsh, without the option, said, well, that's the guy that nobody can stop, Mikko Rantanen. John also went with Mikko Rantanen.
Thank goodness.
Correct answer is...
Wyatt Johnston.
Wyatt Johnston is the correct answer. We remain tied 2-2.
Oh, baby.
Comes down to this. Along with the Edmonton Oilers, which other team led the playoffs through the first round with 27 goals scored? You both have different answers on this one. Marsh, you went with the Blues. John, you went with the Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
Your options: the Colorado Avalanche, the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the St. Louis Blues. You guys both chose teams that were options. If it's the Maple Leafs, John wins. If it's the Blues, Marsh wins. If it's the Avalanche, We got to walk off. Carey Davis, along with the Edmonton Oilers, which other team led the playoffs through the first round with 27 goals?
The St. Louis Blues.
John.
You have chosen poorly.
You lose.
Marsh wins 4-2 today over John. Sorry, John.
That's all right. Not my strength, but at least I got my victory over Illinois.
Wow.
Thank you for doing that, too, John.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Salt in the wound.
That's okay.
John, thanks for listening. Thanks for playing.
Thanks, fellas.
Good job,
Good
John.
job,
Have a good one,
John.
bud.
See you, John. So it didn't cost you, Marsh?
Man, that way it did, though, and I had to go sit over there.
So
I'd be kicking myself all day long.
So Mikko Rantanen scored every Dallas goal in every game.
Yeah.
In ever. Except for the game winner.
Except for the game winner.
I was like, oh yeah, he scored a hat trick in the third period, and then right as I said final answer, I go, oh no, he scored the empty net goal. Wyatt Johnston scored on the power play,
right.
which was the game-winning goal.
Otherwise, it would have been a natural hat trick.
Would have been a natural hat trick, which he did get against the Jets
The
in
very
game
first
one.
game. That guy's pretty good.
Nice job, Marsh. You won anyways. Which version of the Cardinals is the imposter? The one in April or the one that we're seeing right now through May? That's next on 101 ESPN. Jamie, one of the many things that I love about our guy Stewie is that he takes care of our veterans. And veterans, of course, have opportunities for VA loans. And Stewie, I know that you've got programs that help our veterans.
You know what, Anthony? I like to talk about situations that are realistic, that actually happen from day to day. And today we closed a veteran, 100% cash out refinance, no PMI, rates that are lower than conventional rates. Took us 2.5 weeks to get it done. He improved his cash flow by 100%, so he has half the cost of what he had before. Improving his situation, great. Got money for improvements. He's in great shape. Did it in 2.5 weeks. The veterans, if you're out there, you have untapped equity, untapped wealth, all kinds of things you can do. Call us and we'll tell you about the opportunities, all for free with the bagel loan if you qualify. Most do. Take an opportunity and get the home of your dreams. Zero down or do the 100% cash out. All available.
Yeah, Stewie's got programs for everyone. He loves helping out the veterans. He loves helping out 101 ESPN listeners, and it's pretty easy, too. All you have to do is pick up the phone and call him. Mm-hmm. Ask him a question, text him, have him call you back. Whatever it is, Stewie's there to help you. So I urge you to please call his personal cell phone number. That number's 314-324-4440.
Again, that number is 314-324-4440.
Call our guy, Stewie. He needs to be your guy, too. Trust me, I've gone through the whole process with Stewie, and it's awesome and super easy, and you'll love it. So please give him a call or text him. If you can't remember that number, Anthony?
You can always Google the bagel loan. Thanks, Stewie.
Have a great day, guys.
NMLS number 226715.
It's a fast lane on 101 ESPN. So, will the real Slim Cardinals stand up? Real version, the one in April, the one we're seeing now in May. Carey, what do you think? The real version of the Cardinals. And don't you dare say, it's probably a bit of both.
I was about to say.
Because I know what we're all thinking. I know what we're all thinking.
So
it's probably a combination of the two.
So you're basically telling me this is either a team that wins 8 in a row and they win every game from here on out, or they're the team that go on the road and we're 4-13 at one point. They're one or the other. They can't be both.
It's a radio show. We can't do logical.
Okay, so what do you think?
I think it's probably a combination of the two.
I knew it.
Probably about a combination of what we saw in April and May.
Somewhere in the middle.
Somewhere in the middle of that.
They're not going to win every game from here on out.
What? I don't like your attitude.
They could.
They won't.
I mean, it's possible.
Listen, it's not possible. It's not going to happen. I mean, they would be like, it's not going to happen.
No.
Anything is possible, Carey.
Well, they'd be like 100.
That's what they used to tell me when I was a young kid in grade school. You know,
like 140 something.
Anything's possible.
140 wins. I don't think that's possible.
Kevin Garnett said,
anything is possible.
Exactly.
That's why that guy said anything's possible on that boat documentary.
Yeah, T-Pain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kevin Garnett.
Actually, I don't know if he said that.
It wasn't T-Pain.
It was
no,
one of the other lonely guys.
It was Sam Berg.
T-Pain.
Yeah.
He was on that boat, though.
He was. Oh, T-Pain was definitely on that boat with that mermaid.
Yeah.
Carey?
Yeah, as I was saying, I don't think that the Cardinals will win every game from here on out, and I don't think that they're going to be as bad as they were to start the season. I think they have figured out a recipe, and that recipe is starters pitch your butts off. And if you do that, you win.
That's not much of a recipe.
Hey, they've unlocked something. Get to the 8th inning, we'll find a way to win the game. Damn it, that's all we got to do. If you can continue that, then sign me up, brother. Now.
Carey's like, hey, this is good. What's the recipe? It's cereal.
Yeah.
It's got one ingredient. No milk. Just eat it.
It's simple.
Yeah.
Simple.
What?
Yeah, it's not hard. Do your job. Pitch 7, 8 innings. Mm-hmm. Go home tired, but you got 5 whole days. You got 4 whole days to rest. And then you get to do it again. And that's how we win. I think that's what Ollie had the meeting about. I think he had a meeting with the starters and said, hey, need you guys to go back to the 70s and 80s mindset. You got to go the whole way.
Stop being lazy is what he said.
We're paying you, ain't we? You want to keep getting paid? Pitch the whole damn game.
That's right.
I think he had to pay them anyways.
You want to keep getting paid? Nah.
I mean, it's a guaranteed contract.
Well, you don't have to pitch.
Put a guarantee right there on the box.
So yeah, they gotta keep keeping on with the starters. They keep going the way they're going. They got a chance. I don't think it's gonna keep happening. I don't think you're gonna continuously get 8 innings. When the hell have you seen it, man?
You said the recipe was just go 7 or 8 innings. And then you're like, I don't think it's going to happen.
I love when Carey gets to a point where he's arguing with himself.
Because in my mind, I'm like, yeah, it's simple. It's not. It's incredibly hard.
That's exactly what you did. You played all 3 rules there.
It's incredibly hard.
Tell him, Wash.
Tell him,
Wash. We get a question from the 314. Would you be more surprised if the Cardinals won 8 more games in a row or lost the next 8?
Win
8 in a row.
There you go.
Yeah.
But I'm so you always
be 16 in a row.
Nobody argued with you. You argued with yourself.
We're on the first 8 don't matter. We're on another 8. This is they got win 8 in a row right now or lose 8 in a row.
We're on to Cincinnati.
We're on to Cincinnati.
Lose 8 in a row.
We're on Philly, actually.
The opponents are harder. I mean,
so what do you think? What do you think?
9 games they could lose.
What do you think? Who do you think this team is? You asked the real Slim Cardinals. Please stand up. Who are they, in your opinion? Like
they are what they say they are.
A combination of what we saw in April and what we're seeing now in May.
So which one takes over? You know, you got 2 wolves inside you. Which one wins? The one you feed, right? That's what you've heard that saying?
Oh, yeah. I like that.
Yeah, I've been told that before, and apparently I feed the wrong one.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Probably should feed the other one.
I feel like the one is hungrier than the other. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You still talking about baseball?
I don't know.
We're talking about the T-Wolves.
Yeah. Marsh.
The Sudbury.
Anthony Edwards, second reference now.
Yeah.
Marsh, what do you
Top
think?
Gun.
What's the real version?
The real version of the Cardinals, and I can't say it's somewhere in the middle.
Nope, it's not allowed, even though I said it.
I think it's the one we're seeing right now.
So you believe. You did get that text. Yep.
He told you. He sent the text.
He sent the text,
That's
actually.
true.
Yeah.
You did. You admitted it.
You did.
He's hungry. Remember, the kids are saying that.
It's thirsty, man. We've been through this.
Well, because the past is the past, right? Like, that's who they were, and now they're a different team. They're finding confidence. Confidence is a huge thing, right?
I agree.
Yes.
I would love to see 3 more complete games before the season.
Well, let's
ends.
not get carried away.
No, hell no. You got
By the end of the season?
Yeah,
I think that's fair.
3 more before the end of the season. Not this.
Before the end of this road trip.
No.
Okay.
Before the end of the season.
All right.
All right. I think we accomplished nothing there. Can the Battlehawks defense alone win them a championship? It might have to. That's next on 101 ESPN.
Johnny Londoff, the Chevrolet, the name you know, the name you trust. At least I do. For over 25 years, I have been a customer at the Londoff Chevrolet locations. And I say locations now because they've got 2 of them. The original location in Florissant, Missouri. I mean, you can't miss it. It's a landmark out there for sure. And now they've got the new Londoff Autoplex located in St. Peters, right off of Highway 70. Jim Saffo running that one. And both locations are awesome. They both have great inventory, whether you're looking for a brand new vehicle or a pre-owned vehicle. The pricing is always competitive. In fact, probably better than most spots. But don't forget the Londoff guarantee. That's where you're going to receive the most cash for your trade-in. And that is guaranteed by Mr. Londoff himself. And they do such an amazing job of helping you find the vehicle of your dreams. And then they help you take care of it. Before you even leave, they're scheduling your first oil change because they want you to have a great vehicle. And they know that customer service is at the top of the list for everybody. So please stop by either location and please tell them that Jamie Rivers sent you in there. They love hearing that. And they're going to do an amazing job at getting you a vehicle that you want. So please go there, say hi to them. If not, visit them online at londoff.com or londoffautoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
Johnny Londoff Chevrolet.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals have an 8-game win streak, and they'll take on the Philadelphia Phillies tonight. First pitch is at 5:45. Matthew Liberatore on the mound going up against Christopher Sanchez. We are off early today because we have Game 4 between the Hurricanes and the Capitals with the pregame starting at 5:30. Puck drop will be at 6. Over the weekend, the Battlehawks took down the Memphis Showboats. 19-9 was the final score. We're going to talk about your St. Louis Battlehawks next, right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
Caw-caw!
This is Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. As Andrew Marsh has told you in our Sports Center update. I'm going to talk a little Battlehawks football. Can the Battlehawks defense alone win them a championship? They may have to.
Foosball.
And why is that?
Well, offense not firing on all cylinders. Now, they did win over the weekend. They, as Marcia said, they beat the Memphis Showboats. But this offense, it's not terrible, but you can tell it is more of a, hey, defense, go out there and win us the game, and offense, try not to lose it. And I wonder how much of that is because of the limited practice times that they have. Max Duggan is a new Battlehawk this season. He's a rookie in the UFL, and he's trying to figure it out on the fly. I just don't see this passing game firing on all cylinders. I also don't see the explosive runs nearly as much as we did in the first couple of weeks of the season. So I just think this is a process for the offense. So the defense, they're just leaning on the defense for the time being.
Offense usually takes longer, especially when you have a new quarterback coming in. Obviously, the system doesn't change because Max is the same version of what Manny Wilkins is, but it takes longer for offense to gel. It's just harder. I make jokes all the time and say defense has a playbook that's one sheet. It says find ball, get ball. You can be wrong and still be okay sometimes on defense. Offensively, all 11 players, and I'm joking when I said it, but offensively, all 11 players have to be where they need to be and doing their job correctly. And sometimes it's just a little bit harder to get offense going in the manner in which you need to. The run game hasn't been great. Max led the Russian attack last week against the Showboats, and the passing game they're complementary. If you're struggling in one, you're probably going to be struggling in the other, because if you're not running the ball well, why do I need to put people in the box? I don't. I can drop into coverage and force you to find windows to throw the ball into. And if you're not having success, and vice versa, if you're not able to throw the ball well, I can put more people in the box. So I think they're just not having good complementary football on the offensive side right now. They did have a couple of big plays. I thought the screen play to Sailors down there in their own end zone area was a good play. I wish he'd have cut it back and got 25, 30 more yards. But it's just going to take time for them to figure out, how they want to attack defenses and a new offensive coordinator as well. So you put all those things into consideration. That's why they are where they are right now.
Yeah, but I don't feel like it's sustainable the way it's operating right now. Defense is winning them the games and whatnot. It takes time, but there's not a whole lot of time in the UFL. Mm-hmm. They don't play as many games as the NFL. And you don't want to be on the outside looking in, or you get your first playoff game and you lose because, the offense just never kind of rounded out. I don't know what the solution is. I don't have one. I mean, don't pretend to. But I don't think the way they're playing is a way that they can look at it and be like, yeah, this is the year, man. We're going to do it.
I can give you one way to get better fast. Throw the ball to Hakeem Butler.
But you got to have a guy that can get him the ball.
Find it. Nope. Throw it to him. I don't give a damn how you get it to him. He had 2 targets in the game. He had 1 catch. The other catch we watched, it was low and behind him, and it bounced off his hands, and that was the pass that was intercepted. But if I'm that offense, it's not about plays, it's about players. So I want to get my best players the ball. My best player at receiver can't have 2 targets, like in only 2 targets. He should have 8, 10, because he is, from what we've seen over the past few years, and even in the games when he came back, he had a big catch. He had a couple of touchdowns last week. Like, he's your big playmaker. You got to find a way to get the ball in his hands and get targets to him. I don't give a damn what we got to do. It's about finding your players. Like on my play sheet when I was coaching, I have plays, right? But then I'd have the number of specific players, number 12, number 2, number 1. And what plays I need to call to get them the ball. Because when all else fails, I'll go down to the bottom of that. I need to get him the ball because he's going to make a play.
Doing it?
They have to. They're going to have to figure it out.
Why
I don't
do you
know.
think?
I'm not in that meeting.
No, but I'm just saying, as a football guy,
maybe not
if
able.
If it's
maybe,
obvious to you, it's got to be obvious to Anthony Beck.
Maybe they're unable to, and maybe it's just the maturation of understanding the offense. And you don't want to force the ball to a guy, but you do have to find, as an offensive coordinator, you have to find creative ways to know, okay, I can call this play and put him in this spot, and this should be open based on the coverages that we received earlier in the game. So, they were in this coverage when we lined up in this formation. He normally plays out here, but I'm going to put him here and let him run this route because I think this is what's going to be open. So you have to find creative ways to get him the ball in space so that he can make big plays.
They also might not be desperate enough, too. I mean, Carey, I don't know how it was for you, but when you're, like you said, you got a section on your play sheet. I got to get these guys the ball. Well, when you're winning, you might be more creative, right? Like, you may feel like you have opportunities to still spread the ball around. I worked on all these plays during the week. We worked on all these plays in practice, and I'm just going to continue to try to dial up plays that work against this defense. Whereas when you're losing, it's I got to get I got to simplify this. I got to get the ball in my playmaker's hands.
Yeah.
So when the Battlehawks are playing well, and they have over the last couple of weeks, defensively they have been excellent. They've led in a lot of these games. We might be seeing kind of a cautious first-time play caller, as opposed to somebody that, when you're behind, you're just like, okay, I got to cut the crap. I got to get the ball to Hakeem Butler.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's an element of that, too.
If that's the case, then you might want to get him involved early in the game. Because normally receivers, like good receivers, if they're not targeted early, you lose them.
Yeah.
Like, it's like I've ran 15 routes, man, and you ain't throwing me the ball once.
Right.
And it's not a selfish mindset. It's I can make a play to help this team. I done ran a go route, and I'm tired as hell, but you ain't throwing me the ball yet. So sometimes you have to get them involved early in the game. In your first 15 plays, you need to say, hey, I'm going to find a way to, even if it's a pop pass, a now pass, something that I can get the ball in his hands, let him stiff arm a cornerback and go get 8 yards. Just touching the ball early generally helps that offense going, especially when it's your best player.
True. All right, that's Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, saying things. Stalter, should the runway shorten for struggling players if the Cardinals become a legit contender in the division? And right now, the struggling players are 2 young guys in Nolan Gorman and, of course, Jordan Walker. So should the runway shorten if the Cardinals become a legit contender? That's next on 101 ESPN. Should the runway shorten for struggling players if the Cardinals become a legit contender in the division? Kind of an interesting question because you feel as though, okay, well, you're a contender, so maybe shorten the development opportunities for players that are struggling, young players like Jordan Walker. But what do you guys think? Which side of the fence are you on that?
I don't think so. I think that you came in. We talked about this last week, kind of the mindset of if you're winning and having success and you get to a point where maybe you can win the division or maybe you can make a push into the playoffs, what decision do you make? Do you move on from Nolan Arenado? Do you move on from Ryan Helsley? And we agreed that you probably still should move on from those guys if the right return is in place. I think the same goes for the younger players, for Nolan Gorman. Oh, take
Got it. Caught it.
Nolan Gorman and Jordan Walker. You got to figure out who they are. They are supposed to be key components for your roster. It's not just you have to take a bigger picture and see the bigger picture. You can't just focus on the right now. Oh, we got a chance. Yeah, but you also need to set yourself up to have a chance for the next 3 to 5, 10 years. So what does that look like? It looks like knowing what your young players actually are capable of or what they aren't capable of.
So I'll just say this. The Cardinals have to take the same approach as the Blues this year. The Blues changed nothing down the stretch. In fact, they added another young guy in Snuggerud. They left Bolduc in the lineup. They added Tucker, took Suter out. They went full youth movement. They really did. Like, I know they had veteran players and whatnot, but all of the youth that they had available to them played. Bottom line.
Yeah.
And that experience moving forward will be invaluable. And the Blues, mind you, wasn't difficult to keep the same lineup when you go on a 12-game heater and you're 19-4-3 down the stretch. But those guys were a big part of it.
Right.
So the Blues recognizing at the trade deadline, Army didn't say, well, we're close, we're there, we're this, we're that. Let's go add a veteran guy or a couple of veteran guys and just take away ice time from Bolduc and Neighbors and Snuggerud. He didn't do that. He left those guys out there and let them play. So, do the Cardinals have the same value in the players that they have in the lineup that the Blues had in their young players? I think they do. I mean, you look at the way it's going here right now, and the young guys are a big part of things, especially the Mason Wins, the Herreras, the Victor Scotts. Like, they're playing a big part in what's going on right now. So I'm the Cardinals. I don't change a thing. This is either the team that's going to get us there or it won't.
Right. Here's John Mozela a couple of weeks ago. Actually, I think it was last week during the article that Katie Wu wrote for The Athletic. Mo said it's an important year for both in terms of winning and development. You only get so many chances this year. That's not to say that because of their ages, they won't get more. But ultimately, trying to have personal success as well as team success is always the needle you're trying to thread. For them, they have to make the most of their opportunities. And you hope to see incremental growth throughout the season. We're trying to win out here. We did state we're going to be patient, and so we are. But there are some strategic things that these young men need to be doing to start showing they're taking more changes. They're making more changes. You can't continue to do the same thing over and over and over again and expect a different outcome. Yes, they're going to be given a long opportunity to try to get themselves where they need to be, but it's not infinite. Ali also said recently that if the players like Jordan Walker and Nolan Gorman start to become overwhelmed, and he was kind of subtly taking shots at the media, like the media, if they start to read the media scrutiny and they start to,
We're doing that again?
Basically, if the young player is struggling, Ali kind of indicated it would be the media's fault.
What? What are we doing?
Which makes as much sense as Greg Amsinger saying that, Cardinals baseball fans are the real problem here, and they're not showing up to the park, which is why the Cardinals players aren't winning. So anything to protect the player.
Can I just say something real quick?
Yes, sir.
That I absolutely despise anytime the media is used as a positive or a negative. I despise it. I just do. As a player, I never once read the newspaper, and if something was written, be like, well, I can't play now. I'm not good because so-and-so wrote that I had a bad period or that I missed a guy in the slot and he scored. Or the flip side of that, I never thought I was a Hall of Famer because they wrote something nice about me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're that mentally weak as a manager, as a player, as a front office person, then find a different job.
Right.
Sorry.
No, I'm with you on that.
Just had to go there.
Unless they get overwhelmed, don't you want the young guys to get their opportunities when the team is winning?
Yeah.
Because when you're losing, the veterans are grinding the bats.
It's tough atmosphere.
It's tough. Yeah.
Yes.
So if we're going to talk about in that respect, we want the young guys to have the opportunity. Because Jordan Walker not play. We highlighted it kind of just because he hadn't been good at all. But
it's been tough.
Ultimately, they've won 8 straight, so it's hard to complain. Now's the time when the young guys should be given their long runway.
That's what Splashback Deuce in the Snake Pit said. This is the time where the runway should be longer because the team is winning.
I agree with him.
So you're winning. There's not as much pressure. Guys around you are having success, and you can kind of not hide, but you're hide. You can hide. You can hide in plain sight. You can get your opportunities, get your at bats, and eventually it will happen. I think for Jordan Walker and for Nolan Gorman, at some point it will happen. I just don't know what it is going to take for it to happen for him.
I think probably hitting the ball.
Well, we can start there. So you've been hitting the ball. Hit it where they ain't. Yeah, he hit it right to the shortstop or right to the center fielder. You got to hit it in places. There's like football. Quarterback throws into windows. There are windows on the baseball field. You got to find one of those windows.
Okay.
Walk right through.
So we get a comment.
Through the window?
Yeah, if you can. You might want to open it first.
It's kind of like when in that documentary where the race car kind of lost his speed and he had to find his way through the windows on the track.
Yeah.
Go through the windows.
Yep. Just
Is that what jump up?
Yep, something like that.
All right. He's still lost, but kind of won.
And talking about the youth for the Cardinals, and I brought up the Blues, Grant Francis fan club says, but Revs, Blues also brought in Fowler and gave up on P.O. Joseph and Perunovich. Yeah, as they should have. P.O. Joseph and Scott Perunovich proved that they can't play. I mean, Perunovich proved that he can't play for the Blues. And P.O. Joseph was not as good as he needed to be. And Kessel was inconsistent. So if you're telling me bringing in Cam Fowler was a negative, I have a really hard time digesting that because he made that blue line rock solid. And in fact, that paved the way for a guy like Tyler Tucker to enter the top 6 seamlessly and play that way. So I can't say that they brought in Fowler and gave up on 2 players that, quite honestly, I don't know if Scott Perunovich will ever play another game in the NHL because he went to the Islanders and didn't have any more success. It was the same.
Sometimes just
he got scratched for 24 games straight. Yeah. So it just is what it is.
Yeah. Listen, sometimes a player just he doesn't have it. And
that's when the front office that's good recognizes it.
Yep.
And they move on from said player.
Yeah. All right. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN with Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. We've got Beat the Streak where Andrew Marsh is going for the record tonight. Now, this is you've already tied Carey and my record.
Yeah, it's not the 56, of course.
No.
But it's the Fastlane record of 13.
You're at 13 right now, which is what Carey achieved in 2024 and what I achieved in 2023, thanks in large part to one player.
Luis Ariz?
Yes.
That's correct.
Who did I? Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Look, the bottom line, it says CD and Stalter. Boom, 13. And now Marsh.
Yeah.
Marsh could break the record.
Good. Carey's guy was Mason Wynn. In his streak, he had Mason Wynn 5 times.
Oh, okay. So we're not going to highlight that, just the fact that I took Luis Ariz like 4 times, 3 times.
8 times. Oh, well, I guess you couldn't have taken him.
Anthony took Luis Ariz 4 times.
So Carey took Mason Wynn more than I took Luis Ariz.
Guys.
And then Nico Horner was the one that ruined it for you.
You both did great.
Who ruined it for me?
Nico Horner.
Who ruined it for Carey? Let's take a look, shall we? It was Mason Wynn. Unfortunately, went to the well too many times.
You know.
So who will Marsh select tonight as he goes for the record? It's going to be interesting.
If he had any cojones, he'd take Walker.
Seriously. I know I did.
I don't
on Friday.
give in to peer pressure.
Yeah, you do.
I do, actually. I actually do. Not today, though, gentlemen.
But not tonight. Nope. Beat the streak. Bet the board. Next on 101 ESPN.
I want to hit baseballs.
All of my successes depend on me.
You ready to hit?
The hits just keep on coming.
And his first big league hit is a bullet up the middle.
503, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Angel Marsh, Carey Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. We welcome back Neil, who's got a streak of one. He got a hit. His guy got a hit on Friday, so Neil is back in the fast lane. What's up, Neil?
Hey, what's up, guys? I had the tight cheeks there. Mason Wynn got it in the eighth, but we'll take it.
Hey, there you go. Doesn't matter when. Just matters what or how.
Then ask how.
How many?
That's right. That's right.
The only thing that matters is if.
I think you guys might have fumbled that one.
I think
We didn't fumble anything.
Stalter.
Hey, Carey, by the way.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I fumbled the
I
punt.
didn't go there, Anthony. Carey did.
You fumble one punt to Cal, and all of a sudden you gotta live it every day.
Were you supposed to touch the ball?
No. It was a total get off the ice situation for me. Get back. Don't field it. Don't field it. Carey, quick question for
Yes,
you.
sir.
Since you and I and now Marsh hold the same record for beat the streak, are you rooting for him tonight?
Hell no.
Me either.
Wow.
I'm not either.
Marshy?
Stalter on the
Hey,
fumble.
Marshy.
Stalter on the fumble. Stalter on the fumble.
Marshy.
What's up?
These guys, right?
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. I'm not rooting for you either.
But you know what, Jamie?
Yeah.
You never came close to that streak, though. So.
I know. I hate you all equally.
All right, Marsh, so we know your latest streak is 13.
Yes.
You know, Jordan Walker can't hit, so I got 0. What about everybody else?
All right, so Carey is at 5 right now. Jamie's at 4.
Yeah.
Neil's at 1, like we just mentioned. And like you just mentioned, Anthony, you're at 0.
Whatever, dude. All right. What do you got, Marsh?
I'm going with Big Willie tonight. Give me Wilson Contreras.
That's where I was going.
I was looking there. Okay. Well, give me Trey Turner.
Oh, wow. Carey.
Yeah, I mean, he got to get a hit.
Wow.
You can have a lot of chances. Leading on.
Give me Ivan Herrera.
Yvonne.
All right, Neil.
Lefty on the mound again. I got to stick with the Cards. Let's do Arenado.
There you go.
Arenado.
All right, I will take old Cardinal killer Nick Castellanos.
Career killer, some would say.
Oh, no. What the heck? Wow. He didn't kill that guy's career.
No, he didn't, but he will forever be linked to it.
The announcer
sure will.
definitely killed his own career.
He certainly did.
Yeah. All right. Andrew Marsh goes for the record tonight. He took Wilson Contreras. Carey Davis took Trey Turner. Jamie selected Ivan Herrera. Neil took Nolan Arenado. And I went with Nick Castellanos. Neil, good luck to you, buddy.
All right, good luck to you guys as well.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
From Beat the Streak to Bet the Board. All right, Marsh. I like these standings much, much better. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm sure you do, Anthony. You are in the lead right now with 5 points on the month.
Has anybody
5 points.
Has anybody gone back to back to back in Bet the Board?
No, sir.
Yeah. So we're both going for records, Marsh.
It's a little premature there, pal.
Yeah, well, you're way.
We still got a lot of time left in the month.
I'm sorry. Is it a fact that nobody has gone back to back to back in Bet the Board?
Yep.
Fact.
Ain't
Right?
going to happen
Ain't
either.
going to happen this month either.
Nope.
I won in March. I won in April. I could win in May.
Okay,
These are all
Anthony,
facts.
Make your pick.
Hey, are you guys rooting for Anthony to break the
not at all.
Bet the Board
In
record?
fact,
Good.
way less now than he
Good.
spoke.
Good. I don't want anybody's cheers.
All right.
I won't be used to them.
Anthony, you have 5 points. Jamie and Carey have 3 points. I have 2.
I don't know what the hell just happened.
I don't either.
It's
All right.
just, you know.
Give me the New York Yankees at minus 150 tonight in Seattle.
That feels
The
low.
New York Yankees. Minus 150.
Carey, go ahead with your 1.5.
Oh, yeah, give me Alex Bregman, 1.5 hits, runs, RBI, minus 150.
All right, Jamie, give us your power play point.
No. Give me the Vegas Golden Knights, minus 105.
Minus 105.
Give me the Texas Rangers minus 1.5 tonight against the Colorado Rockies.
Okay. All right, that was Bet the Board and Beat the Streak. We're just a couple of weeks away from the return of the Morning After's Dotem Golf Tournament, refreshed by Michelob Ultra. The Dotem returns on May 29th and 30th at Oak Valley Golf Course and Resort. Friday's foursomes are already sold out, but spots still remain for Thursday, May 29th. Get your foursome together for a full day on the course with TMA. And that includes complimentary breakfast from Donut Drive-In, lunch from Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, all your Michelob Ultra, the 100 West Dental closest to the pin competition, a long drive competition, courtesy of Pondoff's Anonymous Recovery Podcast, an after party with food from Texas Roadhouse on Thursday and Super Smokers Barbecue on Friday. A portion of the proceeds will support the St. Louis Hero Network in honor of Brian McKenna. Find all the Dotem info now at 101ESPN.com. We're a foursome. I'm sure that we're already just entered into this, right?
What time does it start?
Probably 2 o'clock on a Thursday.
Yeah. Nope, probably not. Okay. We're probably not in it.
It's kind of late.
Not for us.
No.
It probably starts at noon. Either way, we're still not able to go.
We're never invited to anything.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? We seem to be likable.
Oh, well, we think we are.
That's true.
How bad do you think we would play?
What, golf?
Yeah.
I don't think we'd be that bad.
I don't either.
I haven't played in 8 years.
8
Okay, so
years?
you'll have a hot putter that day.
That's true. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Good call.
Anthony, you give us the line.
You can carry the clubs.
What the?
What?
I'm a competitor.
I know, and you'll be the best one at it.
She ran a 5K, didn't practice for it at all.
How you feel?
Not great, but I finished.
Yeah, you did.
All right, Jamie.
Proud of you.
What are you mad at me for? I'm trying to.
You told me I could hold the clubs.
You're a strong guy.
Not holding any
I don't
clubs.
think he meant it like that. I think he meant it as more like a, there's an honor in holding the clubs.
There is no honor.
No, there is.
Not in this situation.
When Marshy said you can, find the line for us, I mean, that's what good caddies do. They carry the clubs, get the line.
I was thinking maybe he could go first. But yeah, no, carrying the club sounds a good idea, too.
I think it's a great idea.
You know what? We're not going now. Okay?
We're not invited anyways.
It doesn't matter. We're not going.
Yeah.
All right, Tim.
Tim never even talk to us about it.
No.
Not once.
Didn't even think about talking to us about it.
No.
Why don't the TMA guys like us?
I don't really understand that either.
You think they don't like us?
Oh, at all. Jackson likes us, and we're
Jackson's
cool.
nice.
We're
He
cool
comes
with
by
Jackson.
and hangs out in the office. The other guys might as well not even know them.
I don't think Doug Vaughn knows who I am.
I think he does that on purpose, though.
Yeah. Yeah, so he doesn't have to talk to
No,
you.
he's big timing you. He's
Yeah.
been in the industry for so long.
Oh, yeah.
Him and Marty.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Jamie did criticize Tim's jacket today, though.
Well, he looked like a game show host. Okay? Come on. I felt like I could spin the wheel and make money around Tim today.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I mean, look good on him, though. I'm sure. Look, Gap Kids has a very small selection of blazers. And so Tim was lucky and found one that's perfect for him.
Wow. You're playing it kind of fast and loose with that.
What are you talking about?
People could criticize you.
I'm fine with that.
Just saying. You open the door.
I like the door open.
Okay.
He does actually like the door open.
You have
fine.
You have an open door policy.
Trust me, I'll leave the door open all the time.
Yeah. Bacon wrapped wiener just stirring it up. Says, Anthony, how'd you like to mow my lawn? I'll do it. Sure. What are you paying me? He also says, Anthony does a pod with Tim. More episodes than he did with CD. That's not true.
Thank you.
The next episode.
You ain't got there yet.
Well, we know why now, though.
Exactly.
There's a very specific
but Carey,
reason.
We know
after
what we
today,
did.
let's get that Gridiron Guys podcast fired up. Okay?
Yeah, let's get the other stuff fired up, too.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. I like your idea.
Yeah.
All right, when we come back, what we learned, 3 stars of the day, criticisms and compliments, because we're going to get out early. Hurricanes Capitals Game 4 pregame starting at 5:30, so we'll wrap up the show next.
All right, Circus Sports Illinois. They are the best app out there right now. I know one thing's for sure. They have the best odds. You download their app from the website. You can find it there or the App Store. And then you can download other apps and compare the odds on various games that are out there, whether it's the NHL, NBA, MLB. They have the best odds, which means they have the best payouts as well. They also have great lines on all their futures bets, tight money line splits. And we talked about it earlier with the Vegas Golden Knights and the Edmonton Oilers. I put my money on the Vegas Golden Knights. They're plus 102 right now. I believe that they're going to win that game tonight and push the series back to Edmonton. They also have the high betting limits over there at Circus Sports Illinois, and is super user-friendly. So please don't miss out on any of the action. Download Bet Like a Pro with your Circus Sports Illinois app today and join in on all the excitement. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals go for 9 wins in a row tonight. They take on the Philadelphia Phillies. Matthew Liberatore on the mound going up against Christopher Sanchez. First pitch tonight is at 5:45. We are off early today. Coming up at 5:30, we'll have Game 4 between the Carolina Hurricanes and the Washington Capitals. Like I said, pregame starts at 5:30. Puck drop is at 6. If you have missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page, and you'll find all of our interviews and all of our shows. And that's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. We have what we learned and our 3 stars of the day coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by
Saliga
Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
If you missed anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast available at 101ESPN.com or your 101 ESPN mobile app. That's brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers, of course, but the podcasts are brought to you by Schaefer Door Company. Time to find out what everybody learned today. Carey, what'd you learn?
I learned if you are a starting pitcher and you pitch 8 innings, the team has a pretty good chance of winning.
Yeah, good call.
That's all you got to do.
One recipe.
It's incredibly easy.
Tell them, Wash.
It's incredibly hard.
Jamie, what'd you learn today?
I learned that there's many times that, I'm quick to jump on and debate with Carey. And I learned today that if you just give him enough time, he'll just debate himself.
Very true.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Carey had a whole segment where he debated one side and then immediately jumped to the other. And it's basically like, that's not going to happen, Carey.
I was
Carey's
worried
like,
about him.
Cardinals are going to do all this stuff. And then in the same breath, he's like, but Carey, that's not going to happen because X, Y, and Z.
Both opinions were solid.
They really were, yeah.
You know what you got to do. Are you going to do it? I don't know.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Marsh, what'd you learn?
I learned that the new word for thirsty is hungry.
Yes. The kids, all the kids are saying it.
I don't think they are.
I don't know if they
I'm
are,
telling you.
but I believe you.
I'll ask my kids. They said it, I think.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're just hungry. I don't know.
Yeah, they probably just said, hey, Dad, we're hungry. What's for dinner? And
Can
you're
you
like,
feed
it's
me?
a new word.
Yeah.
You should take
you get it.
take a page out of Kirk Cousins' book. He feeds his child.
He does.
Chicken nuggets, right?
Yeah, the
Chicken
bare
nuggets.
minimum, and everybody loves him for it.
Chicken nuggets? Yeah,
Chicken fingers.
Oh, I thought chicken nuggets. I was like, I watched a video on how they make those things.
Well, that's a certain company.
Yeah.
That company.
Yeah. I think twice.
Don't want to say any names.
I can't say any names. I'm not going to say another word for the fear of, getting fired.
Do they taste good, though?
Yeah, okay, actually.
Yeah.
Okay. What I learned today was that Jamie Rivers, no matter what JR does with his grades, Jamie's going to be critical.
When you put grades out there, you know that the world is going to critique what your grades are. I just happen to be one of many. I said not necessarily negative remarks.
You're the harshest.
That's not true.
But the
I
fairest.
guarantee I'm not the harshest.
But the fairest.
Yeah, I'll take that one.
All right. Marsh?
All right. We had a segment earlier.
That was excellent.
Quite the opposite. Actually, I don't think we accomplished anything. But we did get a text from the 314. I love you guys. You crack me up.
Oh, thank
but
you.
you really accomplished nothing in that segment.
Well,
which is why we listen.
Yeah, no, we appreciate it.
I wonder which one that was.
In fairness, I did say we accomplished nothing. I think that was the one that Carey debated himself in.
Well, you called them the Slim Cardinals.
Yeah.
Well, Carey accomplished a lot in that segment.
Yeah,
I gave you both sides.
You did.
Yeah.
Quite fair.
Yeah. You pick the side you want to be on.
Mm-hmm.
You pick your own adventure.
Yeah. Choose your own adventure with Carey Davis.
There you go. Hey, there you go.
You sell that one. We can sell that. Talk to
You got to talk to somebody.
Yeah, let's go talk to somebody. I don't know who, but never somebody.
Talk to legal.
We got a text from the 314 after I submitted my pick for Beat the Streak, picking Wilson Contreras to try and break this record. I got a text from the 314. Go Sonny D. That's quite the callback.
Oh, wow. Yes. Yeah.
I've had various names. My latest name here in the fast lane is Murray.
Murray.
But back in the day, it was Sonny D.
Hell of Sonny D. I wasn't here for that.
Okay, you got to fill in.
With Sonny
Carey.
D.
There was a question in the Gauntlet, like something to do with what vitamin is in orange juice.
Yes.
Or something.
Which, of course, is vitamin
Or if maybe it was the sun. I don't know.
No, it was orange vitamin, and you go, vitamin D.
Vitamin D.
And you
Sonny
go,
D.
Sonny D.
Yeah.
Orange juice.
That's what I just did.
Yeah.
Vitamin C.
It's like the question of what do cows drink?
Water.
They don't drink milk.
You got to lead them down the path. What do you put on your cereal?
What do you put on your cereal?
What do you put in your coffee?
What do you put in your coffee?
Milk.
What do cows produce?
Mushrooms.
No, what do the cows drink?
What do cows drink?
Water.
Yeah.
Well, we did it backwards, but
Well, most people jump to what milk.
They say milk.
Yeah, but they produce. Anyways,
okay.
It's time for the
Sunny D is
Fast
Sunny
Lane's 3 Stars of the Day.
It has
Presented by Circus Sports Illinois. Sports betting the way it should be.
Ironically,
Yes, it's
though.
Sunny Delight.
Ironically, though.
Sunny D. Yeah, the D is for delight, though.
Yeah.
Sure is.
I thought it was for the vitamin.
No.
I was wrong.
Hey, ironically, milk. Good source of vitamin D.
There you go.
There we go.
It's cyclical.
Learn something new every day.
Our third star of the day goes out to toxicity.
Yes, Anthony.
Yes.
Anthony.
No, Carey and Jamie.
No.
Second star of the day goes out to feeding the right wolf.
Yeah, guys, still a problem.
And the first star of the day goes out to childhood games.
Yeah, absolutely.
We did accomplish something in that.
Sorry about that, Carey.
Yep. Yeah. Sorry, Carey.
to listen to
It's
find
actually
out
what we
why.
learned today
Sorry.
was really Carey's a sad childhood.
Man,
That'll do it for us. See ya.